What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm joined with quite a few people here, actually. Sean will be here soon, RHD85, but I'll go from left to right on my screen. Here, we have Max from Dreamcast Guy. How are you doing, Max?
Actually here, my internet seems to be working. If I sound like a robot, just tell me.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time your internet like exploded on us. So
yeah.
It's good to see it's working. And then, of course, we have Evan to his right on my screen. Evan, how are you doing?
Doing all right. Busy as hell, as always.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you got going on?
Just tons of art-based stuff. Like I'm focusing on some commission work that I'm doing. I got some stuff I'm trying to whip up for our channel and everything. So a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Your video comes out tomorrow too, right?
Yep. That was, again, for, I guess to preface, it was early recorded. I had to record it on Wednesday because this is literally the only time window right now that I have this weekend to do anything before like Tuesday of next week. Mm-hmm. So I do kind of want to record a mini one because some stuff did happen just after the recording finished. So might get a mini episode in there.
I don't know. I saw the title looks pretty cool. I think there's gonna be some cool stuff in there. So I'll be watching that. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I'll probably watch it tonight. But and then we have Dave from Super Metal Dave 64. How you doing, Dave?
Doing great. It's been fun the last month and a half or so. Since last time I was on your show last month, it was on a Weapon Wheel podcast, the biggest Nintendo fanboy podcast there is.
Yeah.
And you guys are on there too. But and then we've been having lots of fun with EA and then Super Mario Odyssey. I have my full playthrough of that on my channel.
Yeah, you did it was a full recording, right? It was like from end to end.
Yeah, 9 hours long. If you guys ever want to know what it's like to upload a 9-hour long video, it's probably about a day or so you need to do that. And then processing is another 6 hours.
Oh wow, just the processing.
Well, I mean it's a 9-hour video, so and you want 1080p 60 frames per second. It's really big undertaking, but fun.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. But man, that is a process. Jeez, like you're gonna start uploading in the morning and hope that it's done later on that night. And that, like, if for my internet, when I upload it, just wipes my internet's so slow all day.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, when I tweeted it out, I said, maybe a couple days I'll have it out because I don't know how long it's gonna take to upload.
Maybe if you have I mean, they have better connections other places. Like I know someone who has gigabit, and I feel like that wouldn't take as long. How big was the file size?
I think it was over 30 gigs, if I remember correctly.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I know, right? And that was with putting the bit rate down to like 12,000 or something like that. Usually I do like 17,000 for the bit rate, but yeah, it was huge.
Oh, Robert Erickson isn't that Evan? Isn't that the joke you made last time?
He's spraying the sex at us again.
Says he can't get rid of him. It's good to have you, Robert.
Yo.
Oh, Sean's in. He woke up, dude. I was like, yeah, who was it? It was Dave was like, I think he's sleeping right now. I can't do much. Hey, how's it going, Sean?
Good. Yeah, just woke up.
Taking a nap.
Yeah, nap took a little too long, but hey, what can you do?
Nice. Yes. We were just doing introductions, so you didn't miss anything yet.
All right,
so
good.
You're in good shape.
And you had your soda pop there. All right.
Oh yeah.
What kind of soda you got? Dr. Pepper?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
There you go. I got a Diet Snapple peach tea.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes, I bought 20 of them, so I have a lot of them.
Damn.
Yeah, I got that in green teas. I'm loaded up. I'm ready to go.
There you go.
I'm ready. So a lot of stuff happened this past week, guys. I know it was in the chat before we even started, right? People were talking about loot boxes already. But before we jump into that, because that's gonna be a whole thing. Let me ask you guys what have you been playing this week? What do we got going on?
Tons and tons and tons of stuff. I've been playing Worms War Battlegrounds, whatever the new Worms game is. This is the free PlayStation game this month, and so I actually have been playing that all day today with my friends. Holy hell, it's addictive.
Worms is good. It came out on the Switch also. I think it was WMD that came out on the Switch.
Yeah, WMD. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was playing that a little too. I never got into Worms though. I don't know. I just never got into it. I remember it was back on the PS1 and on the computer I played it, but I hadn't played it since then.
I used to play it on Dreamcast online, and those people would be so crazy. People would be getting ninja ropes and flying around the map and kill 10 people in a turn and stuff. So playing against these losers now is such a joke.
Yeah, I'm sure people got really good at that game.
Yeah,
but it's fun when you got enough people playing. It's less fun, I think, when you play by yourself.
Yeah, when it's just because the bots suck. The bots will jump into the water and stuff. Whereas
Yeah.
online, since it just became free on PlayStation 4, the servers are exploding. So I've just been doing online matches. Me and my friends have been like on a team going against people online. And
oh, you can do that. You can do same screen with like 4 people playing like online against other people.
Yes, yeah.
That's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Did anything else this week, or has that mostly been the big
and
thing?
then Resident Evil 5. I don't know why yesterday me and my roommate just beat Resident Evil 5 in one sitting, and I'd never beat the Resident Evil 5 DLC, so I finally got to play the prequel DLC, which is super awesome.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh, was that during Thanksgiving or when people are over? You guys
no, just because my roommate and I were not really Thanksgiving people, so we did our like obligatory Thanksgiving dinner and then came home and went, how do you feel about zombies? Bad? Let's take care of that.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. And is that mostly what you've been playing this week, Max? Just kind of some games here and there. Anything for work?
Yeah. Nothing work related. There's not a ton of stuff to review right now, like review season, and so now I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, I have tons and tons of games for fun. Let's figure out what that is again.
Good stuff. What about you, Evan? What have you been playing, man?
It's just the basics. Been running stuff with my clan in D2, but I've mostly been spending this week looking into possible games to pick up in early access or otherwise. Like I've been paying attention to Crowfall a little bit, and I was wondering if I was really going to drop, I think like $67 on it.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it seems interesting, but at the same time, it seems really like grindy and boring at times. So I'm not sure if I want to drop that money on it yet.
Okay. You're mostly just still a Destiny 2 person right now.
Yeah, which is fine because I don't have to do it a lot, which means I have all this other free time cleared up to do everything else.
What do you think about didn't they get in trouble for some EXP controversy?
It was EXP over time. You would start getting less and less. And somebody figured it out over the weekend where there was, I think, 2 times EXP or something if you played with your clanmates. And they were like, oh, sorry about that, and turned it off immediately.
They just had to get caught first, that's all. What about you? What about you, Sean? What have you been playing, man?
I've been playing It'll Do 2. I've been playing Resident Evil Revelations combo pack on the Switch. I played a bunch of Skyrim and Rocket League and stuff like that. But pretty much like It'll Do 2 and Resident Evil Revelations are the games that I'm focused on to review right now, and I like them both, so that's good.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it Little Do 2? I saw that. I didn't get it, but I heard it was pretty good. I heard it kind of did it have like a Zelda feel, kind of? Am I thinking about it?
Yeah, it's a lot like a Link to the Past, sort of, but I really like it. It's like I've had it sitting in my house for like a week and a half, and it was a game that I was just like, I'll get around to it, whatever. And then when I actually played it, I was like, damn, I should have played this sooner. Like it's really good.
Yeah. Revelations 2 looks like a really good port on the Switch.
Yeah, did you see comparison for that to the Xbox One version?
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. Like, it actually looks all right. There's some weird, like the frame rate's lower, and there's some like weird things going on with her hair and like some of her clothing, but otherwise it looks almost the same. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I haven't played too much of it. I need to play some more. But yeah, so far so good with it. Like I've never played Revelations 2. Okay. So like that's all new for me, but yeah, so far so good with it.
I mean, Revelations 1 is going to run the same, I think, across. That was a 3DS game, so they're probably not even comparing that. What were you saying, Max?
Does Revelations 2 on Switch have the online co-op thing where you can like do the monster waves?
Yeah, it has raid. Yeah, it's like raid mode.
Yeah, it does. But none of the servers are up right now, so.
Oh, okay.
It only goes so far.
That's out
28th.
28th. Yeah, Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that's when all the embargo shit lifts. So
and that's when I'll go buy it.
Yep, I'll have my stuff up.
Because Capcom don't email me back. They never email me. I don't know what Capcom has against me.
You got to know the right people.
That's what it is, man. I gotta get in with the people. I'm telling you. But what about you, Dave? What have you been playing, man?
Still playing Mario Odyssey a bit. But this week I rented, as I tweeted out, Battlefront 2.
Oh, that's right. You did rent Battlefront 2.
I'm extremely disappointed. I rented the game. I didn't pay anything. I did the free monthly 3-month trial service for GameFly, and I rented Battlefront 2, and I played through the single-player campaign. Played some of the multiplayer. Man, I'm just really disappointed in it. It seemed like a big tease. The whole game just seems like a tease to me, especially with microtransactions, all the loot box stuff turned off. It seems like a real empty experience. I think they were really looking to do the whole, make it so focused on that without it seems like almost like a tech demo. Like you're playing, especially the single player campaign, you're playing through all those levels. You're like, yeah, I really like that. I really like that. And then it's over. And then, oh yeah, I really like that too. And now it's over. And it's just all over the place. And man, I was really disappointed. Glad I didn't buy it. And I returned it yesterday.
Did you really?
Graphics are good. Graphics are good. It runs really good on PS4 Pro. That's what I played it on. But other than that, the game is just really empty. Pointing.
Wow, I'm actually surprised because everyone says it's like good except for the loot box stuff. But then I hear other people, like I saw the video Jim Sterling did, and it was just super glitched out when he was playing it. Completely glitched out. Like he was like, I think the TIE fighter was like vibrating when he was flying around and stuff. And he kept falling through the floor.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't run into that, thankfully.
Yeah. Did you see his video on that?
Yeah, I saw it.
No, I did.
Yeah, go check when you get a chance, Max. At some point, whenever you have free time to check it out, because it's very interesting. I don't think you ever ran into it because you never mentioned it, but his was it was bad. Like I was looking, I was like, wow, geez.
It could have been server load. Obviously, I played it. I put 15 hours into multiplayer, and then obviously the 5-hour campaign, so 20 hours total into it. And obviously, my big problem was that the progression was so rigged towards microtransactions. So in the first 6 hours that I was playing the game, completely fair with no microtransactions, because I played it when those were in the game still. I was only able to unlock about 4 new guns in 6 hours because it just took so long to earn cash, and then you use that to buy crates, and it just randomly give you a new unlockables. It was just easily one of the most broken games I've ever played when it came towards loot crates.
Yeah, see, I wanted to get it just to try it, but I didn't want to buy it at all. So maybe I'll try renting it. I don't know.
It's probably gonna be discounted soon.
I was thinking about that.
pay $5 for EA access on Xbox One, and you can actually play the first 10 hours for free, and the entire multiplayer is unlocked. So just do 10 hours of multiplayer, cancel it, delete it.
I'll say, wait, can you play the campaign too, or no?
Yeah, but it's just like the first mission, if I remember.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Man, it might be worth it. I don't know.
What I really wish they did is focus on one aspect of the gameplay for like the single player campaign, because I really like the space battles were just fantastic, but there just wasn't enough of it. It was so short.
Flying through that's all I kept seeing in trailers were like space battles.
Exactly, that's the best part of the game.
when you're flying through the wreckage of the Death Star, that was so trippy. It's just so real. Millions of individual pieces. It's like, wow, I'm in the movie, and then like, okay, now you're back on a planet doing this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't there's not that much space battle then. That's weird.
You can do it if you want. So there's a dedicated multiplayer mode. If you're really into space battles, there's dedicated open, there's like giant galactic battles, which are 20 on 20 teams trying to handle a giant objective. There's just space battles as an online mode. And there's basically what I like to call Call of Duty mode, which is Strike, which is no heroes, no special magic. It's literally just, hey, I have a laser rifle and a grenade. Let's kill each other.
I don't know. I would like to play it, but I could wait. I think you're right, Dave. I think, man, in a month, it'll be like $30-$40 maybe.
At least, hopefully, like $19.99 for Christmas.
They're supposed to be hitting like 14 million by the end of March, right?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Let's see. Robert dropped 50 secs on us.
50 what?
Look at the thing. It's 50 seconds, man. Yeah. Don't forget to like the video. We need to Brian Perez 700. Oh no, there's no other note behind that one. But you don't have to hit the like button there. I don't think we couldn't get to 600 if we tried, guys. Come on, we've never been to 600 likes before.
You do need to make a stack. I would love if there was like basically it was like a post-it note and you ripped off the top one, like, whoa, we got to 600, and rip it down and it says 800. That's the new goal.
Yeah. So should we just go right into our loot box discussion here, guys, since we were just basically talking about it. And now, because now it's being, I mean, you guys have probably seen that it's being, at this point, investigated by Belgium, by Hawaii, by Australia. Like, everybody's now looking into these things, and it's going to go, I think it's going to go pretty deep, minus just what's in Battlefront, because even Evan, you were talking about Overwatch being in the crosshairs also.
There's a lot more games than that, like a lot that survive entirely on loot boxes right now.
Well, cell phone games would be the
cell phone games would get annihilated. Dota 2 currently has a loot box system. It could roll it back to a just purchase the player skin system, but like it's still
is Overwatch based on the probability aspect like Battlefront? exactly?
I mean, it RNG is the stuff you get, and you can get multiples of the same thing, but it gets converted into a cash currency that you can then use on the older stuff that you didn't get, or I guess save up till something later happens. Like if there's a new skin that comes out, you don't have access to it for X amount of time in terms of like the in-game currency at all.
Well, I mean, what happens if, because Belgium is thinking about trying, I assume so from what happened, the Commission Justice or whatever, I can't remember his name. Yeah. He said he doesn't want loot box anywhere near like Belgium.
The problem is the wording. Like, how are they going to word it? Is it just going to be they don't want to sell items that have an RNG chance to them? Because that's card games. That's just blind bag toys. Like, where are they going to end it?
Right. I think it was more so about digital, where there's less regulation. Like if you go and buy Pokemon cards and you're a kid, your parents need to drive you there. They need to use their credit card or their money. There's a lot of things stopping you from spending $3,000 of your parents' money. Whereas with mobile games, it seems like we see a story like every other day about how some kids spent thousands of dollars of their parents' money on a mobile game, Clash of Clans or whatever. And
but how does that happen there? Is it because the kid stole the parent's credit card?
They take the credit card, yeah.
Yeah. So like, what's the difference when they take it somewhere else? The average store doesn't really check like the card holders.
I feel like we would have, like if a kid came into the store and they were like,
we might
$1,000 worth of these games, and this is my mom's credit card, she said I could use it. I feel like either of us be like,
but if they know enough about it, you can order just boxes upon boxes of things through Amazon, and what's the difference?
Well, that's true with Amazon. Yeah, that's a good point. You could do that. But that's where it's going to get interesting, is does that affect the collectible cards? So that's very similar. It's not that different, really.
Well, the weird, interesting whole aspect of this is to think about all the games that will literally disappear if this happens. If there literally becomes a ban on loot boxes, games like Overwatch cannot be in business. Like Overwatch is a 200-man development team that works 70-hour weeks, constantly rolling out free updates because of cosmetic loot crates. So if those do get outlawed, which it sounds like may happen, any game that tries to do that, no matter what, is definitely going to be out of business or have to totally change their business model, which is weird to think.
It's really interesting what has happened, because when you think about it, the reason why everyone got so angry and upset with Battlefront 2 was because of the progression aspect got so screwed up that maybe this wouldn't have been a case if they followed the same suit as Overwatch and just did cosmetic stuff. It could still be considered gambling, but since it's just cosmetics, maybe people don't really consider it.
People wouldn't have cared. They would. No one cared. Like no one would have cared.
Yep.
But since it killed the progression of the game, and everyone made this huge problem about it, now they're like, oh my goodness, now it's gambling, and this kind of stuff. So this is good. I really think this is a good thing overall.
I don't think loot boxes will be banned, but I think now that EA has been under the microscope, I think they're going to back off a little bit here and kind of fall into the shadows a little bit. Because I imagine Disney has to be really mad right now about what's happening. Yeah. Furious, because they've linked at this point. They've said Disney and child gambling in the same sentence now. CNN has.
Oh, they love that.
Did you hear what's his name? Brent Eisner, who's the head of Disney right now? Somebody said that there's they have to have public records, and apparently the head of Disney actually called the CEO of EA to talk to him about removing. That's why they literally the day before launch. Yeah, the day before launch, they had to yank out all microtransactions, which ended up breaking the game even more. Is literally the head of Disney was like, "How do you feel about losing Star Wars? Okay, fix this, even if you have to pull the plug on it."
Yeah. No, it's very interesting. And then they had, I think it was even before then, I think it was the product manager or marketing manager, somebody who's below the CEO, but for Disney, they're still in charge of Star Wars, marketing and everything. They actually wrote up a whole paper, a letter, and sent it over a few days even before then. I remember reading about that. So this has been on the radar already since the madness that took place. It seemed like EA just made every misstep possible. They did their AMA, which was one of the worst things they could have done was do that AMA. Yeah. That was such a bad, they could have just canceled it. Right. It was such a bad idea.
Yeah. Saying nothing literally would have been an infinite better choice than to walk out hey guys, I promise you love being ripped off. You love it.
Sean, hit me with this, man, because I saw that video you put out where, what was it? Just loot boxes were ruining games.
I mean, they're just stupid to me. I if they go away forever, I don't even like free to play games and stuff like that, like Paladins and stuff that, heavily rely on loot boxes. I've never bought a loot box in it. I've never bought anything with Rocket League. Like it's just like it's doable. You can resist. It's not
you didn't, but I watched. I saw you guys on stream. Wood bought like 3 cars.
Well, that's different. That's DLC. That's not.
Yeah, that's true. I know it's true. You're talking about the keys. The keys.
Yeah, the keys. No, I've got.
No, I haven't bought that either.
Have 1 million crates. Okay, we can keep those.
I know. They keep giving it to me. When they gave it to me the first time I played Rocket League and I got the crate, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go open this. And it's like, you got to buy a pack of keys. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't get it. So yeah, I mean, they can burn for all I care. Yeah.
We need to see Disney just go around and slap each company individually. Just have Mickey Mouse walk around like, hey, cut this shit out. Like, stop.
This is a good point. This is a good point here by Will. Would you change your mind about Battlefront 2 if it was free to play instead of a $60 price tag?
Yes. Personally, 100%. If you want to break a system to be based around microtransactions, but I can get into it for free and even progress, however slowly for free, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, same here. I might do the multiplayer for free, but I still wouldn't like the campaign though. They need to make that better.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. I would have been okay with it as well, to be honest, even if it was tied in as heavily as it was, just because you can choose to be a free to play or you could choose to be a paid member. That's what they call them in the mobile world. There's a game Evan and I play a lot of, just Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle on the phones, and there are people who will not spend any money, and they are significantly behind everybody who does spend money. So you pretty much accept it if the entry's free. I really don't care, because then it's not even considered a AAA game, I don't think, right? Because it seems like the $6 price tag kind of defines AAA games nowadays.
Well, I mean, one example, what's the sword fighting robot game that everybody like advertises that's apparently like totally changed? It has like those squid looking.
Oh, Warframe?
Yeah, Warframe. Isn't that free to play? That's that's the only AAA free to play game I can think of.
Yeah, it is. It is free to play. People said it has gotten better. I haven't played it as much. I played it like a while ago when Evan told me about it, and I was like, it's all right. I haven't touched it since then. That was years ago, I guess. So
StarCraft 2 is free to play now too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
In fact, they were taking pot shots at weren't they?
Yep.
Oh man. What is this? This is from Sean. Arrogance makes people stupid. EA, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, etc. They all have been guilty of it, but EA went a little far here. I think that's the big problem. Is they pushed it just a little too. They really wanted to have a $60 tag to get all of their money and then some back, and then they wanted to push you so heavily into loot boxes. There was no respect at all for consumer awareness there. That's the big problem.
It's like I said last week. They were testing the waters. This is EA testing the waters, and they failed. But it's not like it's not going to happen again at some point, 5-10 years down the road.
They tested the waters and sunk.
Yeah. I saw Colin Moriarty even called it arrogance on their part, which I agree with. I think they basically thought, hey, the Star Wars name is untouchable. We can do whatever we want, and these Star Wars people will buy it. I think that's exactly what they thought. And based on Black Friday shopping, they were wrong. So
but that's interesting too, because like we saw, that game was not being bought in my area in San Diego, your area, right? Max's area, it was totally in stock, right?
Yep.
So I did a live discussion last week about it. I said maybe the game would still sell to the mom and dads out there, but it looks like since it hit mainstream media with CNN and CNBC and all these news stories that come about, maybe people are just avoiding the game like the plague.
I think you might be right. Yeah, because I think it's surprising to see this, but it almost is like gamers are coming together to make a point. Like Need for Speed. Oh my gosh, have you guys played Need for Speed Payback?
No, I watched Jim Sterling's video on that though. It's such a wreck.
It's worse than Battlefront.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they're paying back the microtransactions on that.
I think he calls it Need for Speed Kickback, I think is what he calls it. But it's worse than Battlefront, which is insane to think about. But that's why that game's bombed too. So EA they went for it, and I guess next year they'll apologize. And then they'll try it again in 5 years, like you guys said, when everyone forgets about it.
I think the only way they could fix this, kind of like in the next year or so, is with Anthem. Is maybe make it.
I'm terrified of Anthem right now.
Yeah, make it no loot boxes at all, no microtransaction. Make it a 100-hour game and just full, regular price, and just make it up to the fans and say we're sorry. Maybe even make it $49.99.
Well, what's going to happen? Remember what happened when they first showed Battlefront? I mean, think about the story arc here. When they first showed it, remember they said DLC's free, right? Everything's free, and then we were all so excited. Remember that? This was E3 actually during EA Play. We were so excited. We watched 20 minutes of it, and then what was it? 3 months later, we find out there's loot boxes, and then like a couple weeks before it comes out.
And remember, they had John Boyega coming out like, "Hey guys, I'm Finn from Star Wars, and I'm going to map for you, the gamer. We got them to put a campaign in, and I've secretly played it. It's a masterpiece." And now it comes out, and all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, John Boyega, why'd you stop tweeting about Battlefront? What happened, bro?"
It was bad. Shadow of the Colossus asked, we're going to talk about the PS3 web exploit. Yeah, we probably will, because I thought that was kind of cool to see. Made a
what was funny about the campaign in that game, everyone knows by now that Luke Skywalker is in the game, but what was funny is that EA didn't have enough money to get Mark Hamill to do the voice. I mean, give me a break. That guy didn't even sound like him at all.
Yeah, the voice is really, it's like, "Hello, I am Luke Skywalker, and I have lightsaber." Like, is this guy Eastern European? What's going on?
Yeah, I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is a AAA game. They can't even get Mark Hamill to play. He does the Joker on Batman. I mean, come on."
Yeah. Levin Jones dropped a 5 in with no message. You can leave a message, man. It's not a big deal. Gimpler, the happening, said is mad respect for CD Projekt Red. Yeah, I did hear their response. That was actually, Evan probably liked that too. I don't know if you saw that, Evan.
Yeah. No, I definitely saw that.
Can I have your Rocket League crates? I don't know if I can trade them, but if I could, you could have all of them, because I get a lot of them. I get a lot of them. You saw that. Did you see the response that CD Projekt Red had, Evan?
Yeah. Definitely.
Where they said we're not doing any of it. There was actually a concern because the CEO originally said they have to look at games as a service as they go forward. So people were really worried, and that's where that question came about.
Yeah, but games as a service sounds like Gwent, and I think that's really what their business model is going to become. There's going to be the smaller games that are kind of built around the standard RNG, like a card game like Gwent, which is going to further support their bigger games, which is what we always really talked about when we were thinking of companies starting up with video games, to make a small game, something simple, maybe even a cell phone game, possibly be a microtransaction-y game, and then use that to boost your company to build a massive game that you can just give to people at like a basic rate that has just tons of time to play it. And that's really what would make a great company, and I think that's what CD Projekt Red's looking for right now.
Yeah. I think there are good ways to do games as a service. I just think EA just completely tainted that phrase to the point where no one even wants to. You say it, and people get really mad because they think of that.
I feel like when I think of games as a service, I think about the early 2000s, where like the first big MMOs would have a thing where it's like you're getting constantly new dungeons thrown in and all sorts of new gear and giant fixes that constantly dramatically improve the experience. And then every like 2 years, you pay like $60 for a new giant expansion. And I feel like now it's completely changed. So it's literally just like, all right, we're going to slightly break a system to see how much we can milk somebody until they get bored and quit.
Yeah, it's. I feel like their games can be big enough, worlds can be made big enough to where they can constantly add DLC. I think sports games can absolutely be that. They don't have to sell us NBA 2K every year. They don't have to sell us Madden every year. They should just release a $20, basically update that fixes the rosters and maybe updates some of the engine a little bit. They don't have to keep. You don't have to keep doing that. So many games could work.
There's loot boxes in that game too, right? In Madden, like the Mud Squads, or what do they call it? Mud Squads or something like that.
You can. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped playing sports games a little while ago. So.
You can purchase your progression in that game too, from what I heard. But
dude, after seeing NBA, which Sean doesn't even touch that part, by the way. You told me several times, Sean, you don't touch. What is it? My Neighborhood or something?
Yeah, no, go nowhere near it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that has all the currency in it, right? That you buy and like,
Yeah, I had to research it really heavily and mess with it a lot for the for my bad microtransactions video. But yeah, basically, in order to do anything cosmetic, upgrading your character, each upgrade point is 4,000 in-game dollars. A haircut's like 1,000 in-game dollars. Like a tattoo is $1,500. But the problem is, like, each game that you'd play on the street would pay you about $800. So you end up having to do like so many of these giant matches back to back to even get like one upgrade point. Somebody calculated it'd be like 86 hours or something to max out a character or something.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, this is so much time.
They're there to frustrate you just enough, so you just go, fine, I'll pay the $5.
It does a lot too. If you accidentally click something and you don't have enough money, it basically pops up a thing like, "You want to buy victory dollars?" Like, no, I don't want to buy. Jesus,
I like how they call them victory dollars.
Just play for 8 more hours, you'll get there.
Fortnite. I'm not sure that's what they call it. That's what they call it. I play Fortnite with my friend all the time. So every time we get stuff, he's always like, "You gonna buy those victory bucks?" I'm like, no, I'm a victory loser. Leave me alone.
I thought it really did. That'd be great if I did like loot crates and stuff. That's exactly what I call it, victory dollars. That is awesome.
You buy it. It's like, all right, congratulations, you got your parents' love bucks. They respect you as a man now. Yay!
So let's move on for loot boxes for now. I want to ask you guys about something that popped up, and this is interesting because I know Sean's interested in this because I think I talked to you a little bit about this. The strangest thing happened over the weekend, and I was positive it was that it was fake, and then it turns out it's probably not, and that's that WWE 2K18 on the Switch broke street date, but it doesn't have a street date.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Amazing.
Isn't that weird? So I'm positive at this point, at least I was, that they're going to release it or at least put an announcement out that it's coming out like soon. I mean, stores have the game right now, apparently.
Oh, they do. You saw evidence of it?
Yeah, like people were posting pictures of like the SKUs were already up on the like
shelves.
the shelves and everything.
I only saw the video.
Supposedly there's a stealth release dropping on Tuesday.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, it's got Tuesdays when you release a game, either Tuesday or Friday. It's like,
that's so funny.
Just gonna come out and say that?
Not a good sign.
That reminds me. I remember that's Laura K. Buzz had an unboxing of a PlayStation 4 Slim before it was even announced. Like, she found one on Craigslist from like a factory worker, and she bought it and did an unboxing. And then like they were like, "No, this doesn't exist." And 3 days later, they had a conference like, "Guess what we've got?" Like, yeah, we've seen this. What are you talking about?
What in the world? I don't get it, man. I don't know how that happened. I guess somebody bought it from a store and they popped it in. There was more video of it, and it looks pretty convincing. I'm almost positive at this point it's real.
Yeah, it's pretty real.
Yeah,
I really think they're doing a surprise launch on Tuesday.
You think Monday we're just gonna get an announcement like, "Hey, go get it tomorrow"?
Yeah.
Yes, like 100%. 100%.
I wanted to talk to some people that would normally get the review copies from 2K to see if anybody got a review copy for it, and they just haven't been able to say anything yet. But it's very, very weird. I also was kind of hoping I knew somebody at Walmart or something that I could be like, "Hey, you go check to see if 2K's back there for me." I don't know. I wish the person would say where they got it from. It seems like it was like almost like was it a Spanish speaking person that had it? From what I was seeing on Twitter, it seemed like that.
I think it was Polish, wasn't it?
Polish. Okay. But what do you think of how it looked, Sean?
I mean, it's hard to tell. It's and honestly, it's a shit game, anyways.
That's the thing. I've seen a lot of the glitches, man. It's one of the funniest games I've ever seen. So, but I mean, the patch also may have stuff to it. I mean, it's missing 24 gigabytes of the game. Yeah, it's missing shadows, but it's also the shadows might be in that 24 gigabytes. I think what's on that card is probably like 6 gigabytes of game files, and that's it. I mean, they had 6 wrestlers in like one arena or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really weird too that their Twitter account, they said, "Yeah, we haven't forgot about you, Switch fans. Stay tuned."
Yeah.
And I guess they just meant you'll see the game in the store, I guess.
Yeah. It shows up next to your house.
Yeah, it's out now. Oh, okay. Or I guess it's arriving tomorrow from Amazon. Go get it. It's like, okay, I guess that's what I'll do today. Very weird though. I don't think I've ever seen a situation like that before. Minus, I guess, the Laura Kate Deo thing.
Oh no, it happened. It happened before on the Wii with Black Ops 1, I believe, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex Edition. They just released it in the store, and there was no press release.
Wow.
You
okay.
That, Sean?
Vaguely, but yes, I do.
Yeah.
Did y'all? We all Nintendo partners when they like randomly announced like, "Hey, what was it? Minecraft on Nintendo 3DS." And like an hour before they announced it, they emailed everybody and said, "Hey, we don't know how much hype this is going to get. So if you want a copy, here's a copy. Install it now." Like everything of like, we're going to announce this in an hour.
That was when we were on live stream. You already knew about it?
No, it was in my email, but I hadn't read it. But yes, they sent a code for it an hour before, basically being like, "Okay, We're not sure if anybody's even gonna have time to make a video, but if you want to, this is your chance to absolutely make a video on it.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, didn't Nintendo Directs get that sometimes, or any big showing that they do? Anyone, Sony, Microsoft, a lot of times they'll be like, "Hey, it's out right now. Go get it." Like that demo for Project Octopath. Remember that? So
yep, of us being on stream hammering refresh.
Yeah, it works when there's a presentation and you'd be like, "Oh, that looks cool. Now I can play it. That's awesome." But when they just do it like this and they're like, "Yeah, we'll tell you about it later."
Yeah, very,
well,
very weird.
They did have that. Remember, that was how and it completely bombed them. But remember, that's what they did with the Sega Saturn. Of literally, they walked out on stage and went, "Hey, there's this new thing, and it's actually in Toys R Us." Like, what the hell?
I remember even like the people, even the developers were like, "What?"
Yep, they didn't tell anybody about it.
We were supposed to develop for that, and it's out. Whoops.
Daytona, man.
Yeah.
Four launch games. Daytona being the only good one.
Oh man, that was something right there. Jeez. Oh gosh. Then we had Valkyria Chronicles 4. Max, you actually played through the first one a little more, right?
Yes, I actually beat the first 7 chapters of it over the last couple of days, and man, like of the first one again, because they remastered Valkyria Chronicles 1 is on PS4, Valkyria Chronicles 2 is on PS3, and the third game only exists in Japanese on the PSP. So it's crazy that we're getting Valkyria Chronicles 4, but man, going back through that game, it is such a good series. It is just, I forgot how dark it was. Like, it's where the people be like, we're just having a happy little picnic. And then, like, soldiers come in and just kill everybody. It's like, all right, get a gun and defend your homeland. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? So good, though.
It's interesting. It's coming out on all systems, except the Xbox One's not going to release in Japan, so they're not going to release that, and I kind of understand why.
I'm shocked.
I think it's pretty clear why, but not releasing in Japan, but everywhere else they're going to release it on the Xbox, going to the Switch and PS4 as well. And it's interesting. I did play a little bit of it on the PC. I didn't play any of the other ones on the PSP or anything, any of the handhelds, but I'll be checking it out. I think a lot of the fan base was put off by it from what I was hearing. They apparently the past couple weren't very good.
Well, it was the last. The last one. The last one was a spin-off in another universe called Valkyria Revolution. It was shit. When I reviewed it, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
They messed with the formula, I think, too much.
Yep. Yeah. Well, because all the rest of these really interesting turn-based combat, where basically it's soldiers. You move your armies. It's like Advanced Wars, but as a third-person shooter. So you move individual units and fire, and then Revolution got rid of that, and you basically just ran around and attacked people. It was trash.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get the fourth one comes out. That's out in 2018, I think, sometime next year.
Well, and they reported yesterday. A report came out yesterday that they're quote 90% done. So
I saw that.
Might actually be a Q1 release. Man, that's crazy to think.
Yeah, it could be like February would be a good month for them to get that out in. I think.
Yeah.
Get that out then. But I'm curious how much that 90%. Have they done translations or anything yet? Because it'll probably release in Japan first, I assume, and then it'll show up over here. Maybe
it's gonna have a lot of text in it, I think.
Yeah,
that's very cutscene heavy games. Yeah,
that's the thing we're probably gonna see. That's what's gonna take a while. Is getting it all translated and everything. And then we had this weird rumor that came out. Did you guys see this for Pokemon on the Switch? Where they are? I actually Dave
did a video on it.
You did, yes. You made a video on it. Very good. And that's that. Apparently, they're going to be going in a new disruptive direction. According to this was on the Easy Allies podcast, which is a good channel if you've ever watched it. It's they had one of my favorite shows over on Game Trailers, which was Pop Fiction, and they're doing it now on this channel, and it's under the title Game Sleuth. So they only have 3 episodes up, but it takes a while for them to make them, but it's pretty good. But they talked about how one of them had heard, I guess, from good sources that Game Freak is going to take Pokemon in a disruptive direction. And I was trying to figure out what that meant. I thought maybe it's more open world. Maybe they merge online with it more. So it's more like a Pokemon MMO. But it sounds like it's not going to be just straight port like some of us were thinking it would be. It's going to be, in their words, they quoted like something like along the lines of a departure like Mario Odyssey was, or Breath of the Wild from their series.
Yeah. He was saying that what he heard is that their Game Freak was so not taken aback, but they were really interested in all the hoopla that Breath of the Wild and Mario got at E3 in the past year and a half or so, and all the Game of the Year talk and everything, that they want to take Pokemon in that direction as well. And maybe they didn't say reinvent it or anything, but this is a rumor. I think I believe because those games are so successful. 2 Game of the Year candidates. I could see why they would want to take the series into a new direction, maybe making it just the biggest Pokemon game ever, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean the jump in hardware from the 3DS and the Switch is actually really large. Like it's a pretty massive jump. So they could do some cool things. I mean, they could make an entire expansive, massive world with the Switch.
Just hearing this, because I had not heard this rumor. Literally first time I'm hearing this. So my question is to y'all. Everybody here is probably a bigger Final Fantasy or a bigger Pokemon fan than I am.
Would y'all when was the last Pokemon game you played?
Crystal.
Okay, I was that same generation as after when I left. I didn't even really play much on the DS. Evan played Black, I think.
Was the last one.
I'm not much of a fan myself of the series, but I do follow. I do know how important it is, of course.
So my question is, how would y'all feel if they actually got away with the turn-based combat completely and instead made them more like action adventure games where you run around and you have your Pokemon, but you like use command attacks and actually do everything free?
That was one of the things I brought up is, do they change the battle system at all? And a lot of people were pretty resistant to that when I said that on Twitter. I asked Austin John Plays about it because he's pretty familiar with the Pokemon stuff, and we are working to have him on the podcast. But I talked to him, and he gave me a whole list of things that they can change to really disrupt things. Change things like normally in Pokemon, as we saw, really, I guess before Sun and Moon, you go through a path, right? They basically it's kind of an open world, but they more or less rope you off in a certain path to take when you kind of go around to the different gyms. He was saying like, what if like the gyms would change dynamically to your level or things like that. So you could basically go anywhere you want and go to the gym order in any way you want as well.
I think that's a fantastic idea. Everything that he talked about is a fantastic idea for the series, because if you remember Mario 64, it was complete departure in both gameplay and graphics. So here we have Pokemon that could be a complete departure in graphics as well, as far as being an upgrade, and the gameplay could follow it. Basically a whole revolution for Pokemon, and I think the fans would love it, actually.
It's too bad they've actually used that name already, haven't they? Pokemon Revolution.
Yeah,
is that on
Battle Revolution?
Yeah, Battle Revolution. What were you saying, Sean? You said good when I wrote that quote out.
I mean, let's be honest. Like the Pokemon formula has been Pokemon is a great game to compare to Zelda because it's been the same game for so damn long. So to change things up, like that's good. I would love.
You're saying it was becoming kind of stale, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, every Zelda game you've really played for the past 20 years has just been some sort of regurgitation of Ocarina of Time. Sort of open world, go to dungeon A, get items so that you can go to dungeon B, get items so you can go to dungeon C, and it works. It's a good formula, but it gets stale after a while. They're all great games, but to me, they were just getting stale after a while. I still love playing them, but I liked the fact that Breath of the Wild went in a different direction. I liked the fact that Mario went in a different direction. Do the same thing with Pokemon. Why not?
Yeah, people were. I think. Go ahead, Max. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it would totally win over people like me, where I've always thought that series was so interesting, but it's all sort of the same to me. Like, as somebody who's really outside, where it's like, okay, it's just the same adventure with new Pokemon and new bad guys. Like, okay, there's a thing called a Bidoof now. That's great. I'm not a Bidoof myself, so I'll pass.
Yeah, the Pokemon get so weird now, man. I'm telling you. I missed the original 150, but go. Were you saying something, Dave?
Oh, no, I just think that would be a great idea they do that with the series. I think it would really branch it out to more people than just the hardcore Pokemon fans. Obviously, there's like 15 million per game sold. That's a lot of core fans, but they could have more, like Max, for example. He's not really interested in buying a brand new Pokemon game because it's all the same thing to him. So if they make something that can cater to the hardcore fans and new players at the same time, which they could do, if they upgrade it like that, I think that would be huge for the series. You could reach the 20-25 million sold per copy.
People were really concerned when I mentioned the battle system because they feel like if you change the battle system, it could affect how it's competitive now. But if the new gameplay, it doesn't really support that competitive nature, that it might turn Pokemon into I guess less of a competitive scene and more into just more a casual scene.
But But there's more advanced forms of turn-based strategy that could still maintain competitive nature based on statting. What if it was similar to one of the old Final Fantasies where there's like a bar that fills based on your Pokemon
like the
speed?
active time,
and you can pre-queue your attacks to trigger at the end, so you don't have to like wait around at all at that point.
Yeah, because before it was more about whoever's number is higher for speed, they just go first, right?
Yeah, it was whoever's number was higher for speed first, and then like people would try to stack special attack, and it was like Arcanine, which was the god of frickin' the fights anyway for the tournaments. So it's not like it's competitive really, because you just need the one that everyone has.
You could actually have some good reflex, like people could have like actual reflexes and stuff to pick their stuff while the bar's filling and like move them around and everything.
You just need to make Pokemon Final Fantasy Tactics, and I promise I'll buy 7 copies.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, actually having to walk around, that'd be awesome.
What's really interesting though is apparently Game Freak was afraid to do this, and according to the source, Zelda and Mario pushed him over the edge to just say, you know what, let's do something completely new. So how we heard Pokemon Stars come out of Kotaku, where that was rumored, apparently there was a demo running of it, and that's how we heard about it. But that is not going to be the direction they end up going in now, which is very interesting because there is a lot of internal pressure apparently to get Pokemon out next year.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they're going to push it to 2019. If it's this grandiose and huge of a new direction for the series, and they're just kind of like getting their footing on it now, I really don't think it's going to be another. I think it's going to be at least 2019.
Well, my question is, but then what do they have for next year? That's
Smash Brothers.
Smash. Okay, yeah. You could do Smash Brothers. You could do that, or Metroid maybe. if they really have Bandai in there helping them, I mean, maybe it could get done. But I feel like they need some big franchise, right? I mean, they used Mario and Zelda. They probably didn't need to use both of them this year. They did.
Yeah.
You talking about for 2018?
Yeah, they need that big. I feel like they need that big recognizable game.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll have Smash Brothers, Fire Emblem, and then they got Kirby, Yoshi, and then what else?
Yeah, but what would they dress up E3 for? You think they just dressed it up for Smash Bros?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It could also just be something. I think that we're going to see at least one giant weird new flagship. Like, I think the fact that Splatoon 2, I've heard like some internal numbers of like Splatoon 2 is making way more money than even Nintendo predicted, and they had really high projections for it. So the fact that it is making them so much money, I think they're being like, okay, like if y'all have a brave new idea, this is the year for it.
Yeah, because they did say they want to tackle non-traditional IPs, right? They want to come up with some new stuff. Maybe they dip into the horror genre a little bit. Maybe they tap. Maybe
Eternal
they tap
Darkness.
Yeah, I mean they have that trademark still. It's sitting there. Maybe if they have an internal studio that's willing to attack it, like retro.
Let's get a Fatal Frame crossover with Luigi's Mansion. So it's these horrible rotting Japanese corpses and him be like, whoa, whoa.
That would be great.
I wouldn't mind a new Punch-Out game too. That would be fun. But maybe ARMS crossover. Cool.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
That would be neat to have that. Or maybe they get Punch-Out, but maybe they get like someone from Street Fighter or something to guest star in it. That would be cool. I would like that. I just need Capcom to start doing something with Mega Man. That's all.
Yeah,
in conjunction with Nintendo. Let Nintendo try to do a Mega Man game.
They should sell that IP to Nintendo.
They should, man.
Or rent it. Do what Marvel is going on right now, where like Sony is allowing Marvel Studios to use Spider-Man, where it's like, we're going to take 10% of the profit, but you get full access to it. Be like, all right, look, it's Mega Man tax. You make them, we get the cash.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I would like to see them do that, but Capcom, man, I don't know. I can't stand Capcom right now.
You know what they should do actually is get some more exclusive third-party support in 2018, because they released so much first-party in this year that it's going to be a tall task to repeat the exact same amount of output in 2018. They have obviously games lined up, but I think if they get some more exclusive third-party support, that would be really cool. They already got Wolf 2, and they could get some more.
Yeah, Fallout 4. Is that what you're saying before, Sean? Was that Fallout 4 is probably a lock?
No, GTA 5 is a lock.
I think so too. I think GTA 5
Fallout is a possibility, but GTA 5 is a lock. I mean, I think you're gonna see a bunch of third-party games because all these companies are like, oh wow, there's money to be made on the system, and I don't think they sort of did the reverse of what they did with the Wii U, where they were like, okay, we're going to rely on third parties at first and, release some sort of okay-ish games. And then, we'll have the good games for the Wii U come out in like a year or two. Whereas this, they're kind of like the other way around. They're like, okay, well, we'll release a bunch of stuff in the first year, build up the user base, and then we could try some different things in the second year. Like, I don't necessarily think they need like some huge heavy hitter, game to come out in 2018. That's something from like a super established franchise like Pokemon or Metroid. Like, I think they can do just fine with supplemental games and interesting new IPs and stuff like that. But
yeah,
Sam Hetfield production says the mobile and console staff over at Nintendo are only one now. Production stages are way different, and Switch needs Metroid Prime 4 in 2019. That's the thing though, because from what we're hearing, isn't 2018 going to be kind of a void of third-party stuff because they're just now jumping on because they realized that they waited too long? Didn't we hear that from who did we hear that from?
Oh, that was Capcom, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, where somebody, I guess they were talking about how they waited too long and most games won't be out until 2019 just because they need to get them developed first.
Oh, that was an analyst who said that.
Okay, that was an analyst, yeah. So it sounds weird, but it might be up to Nintendo again to prop up 2018, much like they did this past 2017.
Well, Nintendo published Doom and Skyrim, right? So I think Nintendo had something to do with getting those games obviously on the system the first year. I think they can do that again in 2018.
Publish some games,
besides Wolf 2, something else.
Yeah. I mean, that maybe do you think they'd go as far as to publish GTA 5?
I think they should.
I think they would. I mean, Doom is pretty messed up. So I mean,
yes. Yeah, but dude, you don't have prostitutes in Doom.
I mean, still though,
I think Doom's selling so well and creating such a movement behind it. I think 100%. I mean, I literally think 100% right now there are people sitting at Rockstar who are working on a build that comes to Switch. So if it doesn't come, it's just because it's just technically impossible. But I think at this point they realize there's so much money on the line they can't miss out.
Yeah, I think GTA 5 is definitely coming over. It makes no sense not to. I mean, how many copies do you think would sell on the Switch? I feel like they'd get a couple million out of it pretty easily.
Yeah.
The install base of the Switch, probably like half of it would buy it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
I would GTA 5 anywhere.
I would too, just to see how it runs. That'd be so interesting to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna punch those hookers by actually moving my Wiimotes or my Joy-Cons. It'd be amazing.
You'll get some joy out of that.
Yeah.
No, God, no. That joke backfired.
That's great. Oh man. What else do we have that happened this week, guys? Did you have anything you want to talk about on here?
One thing that I saw literally right before going live is apparently the director of Final Fantasy 15 has said that they're finalizing all the last stuff they ever want to do with Final Fantasy 15 is now being coalesced. They're finishing up the design plans for whatever the heck that's going to be. And starting in 2018, they're going to begin a giant project that will be working past Final Fantasy 15. And they said something about it's something fans have asked for a lot. So it sounds like Final Fantasy 16 is actually going to begin development soon, which is huge.
I thought it's not going to be the person working on it now, though, because I thought they said they didn't want to work on 16 if they were going to do another game. Right.
That's just what he's saying. I'm jumping to the 16, but he definitely the verb tense he was using was very past tense. He was very much saying we're leaving Final Fantasy 15 behind. We're setting up the last couple pieces of DLC is what he made it sound like. So it's crazy.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know what else they were talking about. Maybe
I never know.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't really know what else they would do.
Well, the way he said it, it very much sounds like it's still going to be a Final Fantasy thing. But I mean, if we're just talking about it, could be, I don't know, a new Final Fantasy Tactics, because we haven't seen another Tactics advance in a while. We could see Final Fantasy Tactics Switch that sort of just literally continues that mobile tactics vein.
Yeah, I mean that I could see that. That'd be interesting. Well, tell me what you guys got on. What did you guys get on Black Friday? Let's do that.
I got Valkyria Chronicles remastered. I got Witcher 3.
Were these physical pickups or?
Those were my two digital games.
Okay.
And I got World of Final Fantasy, Fallout 4, and I got No Man's Sky. But I got it for $5, so please don't hate me in chat.
Where'd you get it for $5 from?
I got all 3 of these from a movie trading company next to my house. They had like this discount bin and everything was dirt cheap. And there was a bunch of stuff I really wanted to buy, but I talked myself out of it. I was going to buy an extra copy of, what is that? Injustice 2. I want to buy all my friends Injustice 2 for Christmas because I think everybody needs to play that.
That's what I got. I got that on PSN for $19.99 and Titanfall 2 for $19.99.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Were those the 2 you got, Dave? The 2 pickups?
Yeah, and I got some movies too, but I'm waiting for Cyber Monday also. Sometimes Cyber Monday actually has better deals than Black Friday. I've found in the past for digital stuff. But yeah, I was surprised by Titanfall 2. I never actually played it, and it's actually pretty good game.
Yeah. Sean, what did you get? I know you guys were talking about picking some stuff up on stream. What did you guys end up getting?
I hardly got anything. I got Batman and Lego City. I got Batman Telltale and Lego City Undercover from GameStop online, and somebody bought me Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for the Switch with their early Black Friday deals on Best Buy, and I also bought Poi or something it's called.
How much was Poi? How much was that one?
I bought it off Toys R Us's website. It was like $30.
Yeah, that's about right for Poi.
It wasn't on sale or anything. I just bought it to buy it, and that was it. That's all.
Man, Xenoverse 2 for $20 is good though, man. That's not a bad pickup at all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it. I don't know shit about Dragon Ball, but
it's a fun. You can actually play online with other people. It's kind of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, so if you know other people, you basically run like quests and stuff, and you get like random drops, and it's kind of an action RPG pretty much because you level up and you put stat points and everything, and you build your character.
Okay.
Equip spells basically.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, you equip spells, but it's definitely better if you're a fan of Dragon Ball than if you're not. So I don't know how good of a time you'll actually have.
I mean, for the price, I'll buy it like $20. Like,
I can't wait till they go Super Saiyan and blow your mind.
Right?
I just picture not knowing it. It's going to just sound like Japanese. Like, all right, now I'm going to get out my Kaioten Tomanata attack. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
What did I get? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. I mostly built out my Xbox collection because before I had my X, I was buying games for the PlayStation 4. So now I'm trying to get games for my Xbox as well, the Xbox One X. So I did some shopping. I got Skate 3. Technically it's a 360 game, but it's packaged in like the Xbox One case and everything. That was $9, so I grabbed that right away. That's a great game. And I think the Xbox One X has something for. I think it probably either ups the frame rate or it ups the resolution. Titanfall. I did get Titanfall 2 just like you, Dave. These were all Walmart pickups actually.
How much was your Titanfall 2?
$12.
Oh, okay.
$12.
Yeah, I got like the extended version of it for $19.99.
I just got the regular one. Yeah, it was $12. Mafia 3 on the Xbox One, and something else. I got Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 on the PS4 also.
I passed that up. I was going to get it, but it was $30, and that still seems like
it was 19 at Walmart.
See, I'm going to go there because I want to play that so bad.
Oh. They also have Final Fantasy 15 for $20.
Yeah, I haven't opened any of these yet. Dishonored 2, that was the other one. It was $12.
Yeah, Dishonored 2 is so good.
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5. It wasn't bad though. I think it was $19 at Walmart. So pick that one up as well. Wait, that actually is a thing. You can actually trade crates and. Sort of bad time. You can actually trade crates in Rocket League. I don't even want them. People can just have the crates. I don't do anything with them. Daddy, I'll look into that, man.
So here's something. We were just talking about WWE 2K18 on the Switch.
It's out now.
No, somebody just posted on Twitter that their Walmart has a shelf spot for it now, and it has like a SKU and stuff.
I'm telling you, Tuesday it's gonna be there. Monday they're gonna tell us to go get it Tuesday.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen, man. And I'm gonna have to go buy that.
Same.
Is it gonna be? You think it's gonna be $60?
Yeah, it is. They already have on the price sticker. It says $60.
They make us download 24 gigabytes and make us pay $60.
wrestling.
And here's Doom dropping a 16 gig cart, and they can't at least come up with that and cut the download time down a little bit. Like even LA Noire was 14 gigabytes, and I know they had to have used a 16 gig card for that.
Yeah,
I think it's playable without updating it.
What's that, LA Noire? Or?
Yeah, right.
You can.
That's what I heard.
I think Eric, what was it, 8-bit Eric, Sean, that played like the first 2 or 3 missions or something, and then it asked you to update.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we've seen how stripped down 2K18 is WWE, so you have to download it. Man, my 128 gigabyte card's almost full too. You get another one.
Mine's pretty full right now. But I purposely filled it up. I literally installed 1 million games.
Yeah. I went on like a little spree recently with games for my gameplay stuff with like everything. Well, I played like all the games almost. I didn't even post all the ones I played.
I think they're having some deals in SD cards on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the 400 gigabyte card right now, and it is quite expensive, but I might buy it. Just
How much
because
is it?
It's $250.
Jesus Christ.
Just $50 less than the Switch, no problem.
Yeah, but then I don't have to buy another card ever. So, until 1 terabyte card comes out.
By the way, thanks Spawnwave for your 9 Parchments video. I actually ended up playing that demo too with my buddy, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really low resolution, but I think it's pretty cool.
Oh, did you oh yeah, it's coming out on the other systems too. So
yeah, and I definitely think the Switch version seems pretty downgraded because it's fun and I like the art style, but there's definitely something that looks really like Game Boy Advanced-y about the graphics.
The aliasing around the edges, is very apparent, and I'm hoping
very sawtoothy.
I'm hoping I'm hoping they clean that up. This is just like a demo build. I'm hoping that when it comes out, when does that actually come out? Actually,
the 5th, and I actually already asked him for a copy, so
December?
I should be getting a copy. Yeah, so I already asked him for a copy. I should be getting it very soon.
Ooh, maybe I'll ask them for it as well. Let's see. But it had a Gauntlet feel, right? I was playing. I was like, this is kind of like Gauntlet.
Well, to me, it felt very Gauntlet, and I liked it. Me and my friend, my roommate, we play everything together when we can, and we're addicted to co-op games. And we noticed that there's a big thing of like being able to combine spells, and so each of the different mages only has certain kinds of magic. Like I could shoot a death beam, and he could shoot an ice beam. We could combine them and make this like hurricane, like death ice beam. And so it's like, okay, cool. So there's definitely like a mix and match and learn how to play kind of replayability to it.
Yeah, it was cool. I just played it by myself, but I think it was pretty fun. It was weird that you didn't level up in real time. You had to get to the end of level to level up.
So I hated that, and it's weird. Almost every button on the controller either is shoot a spell, jump, or quit. I made the mistake of every time I press start, you quit all the way out. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do it? All right, this is your main control. This is shoot magic. This is delete the game off your hard drive. Like, why would you make that main button?
I think I didn't realize either if you, like I was trying to hunt down these chests that were hidden. Mm-hmm. So I was like, maybe they're over here off the side of this, like the edge here, because sometimes you jump down, and even though there was like a platform down there, I jumped off and I just died. We did that.
We kept daring each other to jump off stuff, and at one point there was a lower ledge that had all this ivy growing on it. I was like, bro, I bet that's poison ivy. I dare you to jump into it. And the character lands in it and is fine, and then it's like, and it's like, really? Okay.
I was man, I'm telling you, I was having fun with it, but there were some things that I was like, this could be a little better. But I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be like a 7 out of 10 co-op game. Like not super special, but for 10 or 15 bucks, it's a great way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a game that could work well in like with the Switch's tabletop mode stuff too. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely used a single Joy-Con play. That's pretty clear. You can do that, but it's going to be interesting to see how that works on the smaller screen if you have 4 people playing at the same time.
Speaking of Joy-Con, that's quite a thing you did today. That was pretty cool.
The orange Joy-Cons with the D-pad.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I have them over there. I used them some. I was playing Axiom Verge with it, and I like the D-pad more the way it is now, as opposed to the separate buttons. I don't know. I know it's technically still the same thing from an input perspective, but the fact that you just have a D-pad now instead of all the separate buttons, it controls better, I think. So, and it has like the tactile feel like the 3DS D-pad does.
Exactly.
So I like it. I do. I like it more, and I like the orange. The orange I think looks pretty good.
It does.
I'm gonna have them over here. I have it over here. Let's see. Just take them off, I guess. But they came out all right, I think. I was looking at other colors too, because now I just want to get different Joy-Con colors that don't actually exist in the world. So
yeah, I love that D-pad. So good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the D-pad came out pretty nice. So still translucent, but it didn't take too long. Like I said, I timed myself. It was almost 18 minutes to do this.
600 likes.
Yeah. Oh, we got 605 likes. We did it.
And only an hour's time. Nice.
Yes, we did it. Good job, guys.
You can give away some of those loot boxes from Rocket League now.
It's true. Randomly.
Are you sure it said 600 likes?
I have to move. I have a box of your face.
Yeah,
800. Boom.
He took
Evan's advice. Oh man, that's funny. Let me see the people in the chat. Oh man,
you're sandbagging your true power.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So not me.
Super Saiyan 4.
Someone said they knew there were 2 papers. Are there only 2 papers though?
Ooh.
The one underneath that has a secret message about EA.
This is the world's worst plot twist.
No, there's only 2 papers. That was it. There's no need to try to get to 800 likes to find out, because that was it.
We failed. It was 800 likes all along.
That's funny. We're probably, someone said they were like, why was this on the trending? I don't know. I don't know why this is on the trending, dude.
This live broadcast?
Yeah, the past couple have been on trending because people keep hitting the like button on it. And it seems to affect that to some degree, because the past couple times, like if you go to like YouTube Gaming, I think it is, people will keep popping in the chat. You'll see them and they'll be like, I saw this on trending. Why? There's just people sitting around talking. Why is it on trending on YouTube Gaming? And that's usually why. So it's kind of funny. I think it takes like the Google Hangout things. I think it takes it and automatically puts it into YouTube Gaming if it's under the gaming category.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool. What else did we get this past week? Oh, Sean, did you play 9 Parchments, the demo?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, yeah, go download it, dude. It's actually pretty fun. It's kind of like Gauntlet. Like I said, it's like a mixture of Gauntlet.
6.5 minutes of your life, because it's a really short demo.
It's like, what is it? 3 stages. One's a tutorial. One's like the one you just kind of play around with, and the next one is the boss battle.
That's better than Sonic Forces.
Yeah,
that's true.
Twice as long.
I watched one of RGT's streams earlier this week, and it was really entertaining. And his chat was telling me that there was a Lost Sphere demo that was pretty bad. I actually finally installed it. It's only in Japanese, and it's not great. So
you didn't play it?
I played through the Lost Sphere demo.
Oh, I did a full video on that, man.
It's
I actually took my phone and I was taking pictures, because Google Translate will do it in real time, and that's how I was getting through it.
It seemed okay.
One of my good friends, she's a banker and she's fully fluent in Japanese, so I just had her sit with me and be like, okay, like it was weird. I didn't understand, like when you pressed start, they would also have conversations, so she just had to translate that, because I was like, okay, what is this?
That's nice if you have somebody there who can translate that. I always tell myself, I'm like, I should learn Japanese, and then I just don't. Yeah. I need to do that. Work. Yeah, well, yeah, just to play. But think of all the games I could play if I knew Japanese.
Well, the reason I have it, my older brother speaks 8 languages, and so if I learn 2, I'm gonna look like such a pathetic loser compared to. And that's my thing, is be like, oh, you speak 2? Oh, here's your silver medal. Oh, dang.
Max, you had 80,000 subscribers, didn't you?
Yep, I'm about to break. I'm like 20 away from 81.
Is your room tour coming up?
Yes, room tour is coming out Monday. It is 45 minutes long. It's very cool.
I saw you like rendering it. You're like, it's gonna be like 4.5 hours to render this thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
It took forever to render. I'm very happy with how it came out. It's I ended up having it. You can see my whole room is actually torn apart in the background. I literally had to just basically take everything down. Well, because everything's like 3 layers deep on my smaller shelves. So I just took everything out and like held it up and talked about it. And it was fun though. And I kind of get personal. So if y'all want to tune in Monday morning, I kind of talk about the origins of the name Dreamcast guy, and talk about I was actually homeless for a year. And so I kind of talk about like walking around with my CD book of Dreamcast games, looking for a place to live and stuff. So Dreamcast means a lot to me. And it's been a fun journey.
You have every Dreamcast game, don't you?
Yes, I own all 268 North American Dreamcast games, the 14 exclusive European ones. and a big smattering of Japanese ones.
So the ones that the new games. Sorry, I was going to ask about the new games coming out.
I own a lot of those too, like Ducks and Pier Solar and whatever that weird puzzle game is and all that.
What about flashbacks coming out? Are you getting that?
Maybe. The thing is that I don't buy that stuff until I stumble upon it. Basically, the only one I ever pre-ordered was the Pier Solar.
Okay, that was like a build-up, man. That was a big deal when that one came out.
Yeah, it was a lot of hype, and having played through it now, it was extremely worth the wait. Easily one of the best Dreamcast RPGs, other than Grandia 2, and it's great.
Yeah. Did you get it? Did you get it on the Genesis also? The cart there?
Yes. Yeah. I actually have a complete inbox on the Genesis, and I was one of the first people in the world to ever order it. So I actually have a handwritten thank you card from the director Foz.
Okay. Wow. Geez. Yeah. Nice. That must have been a really interesting video then to shoot. I'll have to check that out when that video goes up. 45 minutes though, man.
Yeah, it was fun, and I talk as fast as I can. But since I have like I think 1,600 total games, so kind of going through it, I'm literally just like, okay, here's this. Okay, let's talk about these cool games.
That's gonna be good. Yeah, I'll check that out. You said Monday?
Yes.
Any certain time?
Monday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time.
Yeah, I'll check it out when it goes up. That'll be cool. That'll be interesting to see. Very good. Sean, you did your game room tour too, right?
Yeah, I did it a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll have to do another one next year, of course, because of reasons.
Sean, I saw a tweet go up here on Twitter that you put out. You said if you go full time, it would be like me. What do you mean by that?
That was fine.
Like consistency.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think people understood my tweet, but
I got it, but your at was in a weird place in the sentence. It was too early in the sentence, so it came out as like, I'm gonna be like, but yeah, I understood what you meant of like putting out daily videos and stuff.
Yeah, like that's very much my style. Anyways, like you don't see super long, well edited things on my channel most of the time, so I'm more.
Would you schedule them? Like you think you do that? Like have a schedule?
Yeah. I mean, it would be easier to kind of see, what works. I used to be terrified of uploading videos in the morning because it seemed like when I would upload a video in the morning, it would get shit views no matter what it was. And then all my shit that I upload at night gets like so many good views. And I'm like, but now I've started incorporating like today's video came out at 9 in the morning and it's done pretty well all day. So I'm kind of trying to just see. And I mean, I figure as things continue to grow, there'll be people in different time zones, different countries and shit like that. So, it'll work out. I've definitely got to tinker with some stuff, but yeah.
YouTube fixed their thing too with demonetizing as far as it was what they have said, right? They're going to be fixing that for 10,000 subscribers and more.
Yeah, so it's a lie. It's a lie, but it's a great lie.
It's a lie.
Couple of new sponsors here, actually. Welcome to Homes. Thank you for sponsoring. And then Robert Erickson. Thank you for sponsoring. I think we have 3 sponsors now. We're moving up in the world. Very nice. Thank you very much. I think what happened here, and this is one of the reasons I started scheduling a lot of my videos. So if I do Newswave, it's up the night before, but it's scheduled for that morning. Is now what YouTube lets you do is if you upload it and it's scheduled, so it's not up yet, and it gets that yellow tick mark, you can actually request a review instantly.
Yeah, but it can still take sometimes 4 hours or 2 days. You never know.
Well, that's why, like, what I do is if it happens, like it's happened a couple times now, but what happens is as soon as I request a review, it instantly goes green for me. So I feel like that just might be a mistake on their part, but I leave myself roughly anywhere between 9 and 10 hours from when it's done and scheduled to when it goes live. And I'm having an issue, and I seem to get more views though when I upload in the morning. That's why it's 8 a.m. every morning now. I mean, I also make that very apparent on the channel when it goes live.
Well, yeah, more than structured content is the biggest thing. Like Top 10 Thursday goes up every single week at about 6 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. And so because of it, I've noticed even if people don't watch it right away, there will be people like getting off work 2 a.m. who end up watching it. So it gets really static views of like, oh yeah, people know where it's supposed to be there. So when they get home, they watch it.
Yeah, it's it works out that way though. That's how I've been doing it. But I'd like to get to the point where I do that, and then I can do whatever I want otherwise, just for fun on the channel. That's the plan. But I want to review, like, Xenoblade 2 is coming up fast, man. That's Friday, and like I want to review it. That's gonna be a journey to review that sucker. I mean, is everybody getting this game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably buy it, and what I'm probably gonna do is just, since I don't have a review copy, what I'm probably gonna do is just play a bunch of hours of it and just kind of do a breakdown of like, hi, first 10 hours.
That's probably what I'll do too. I'll probably, if I don't have a review code sent to me, and if they send it to me on the first day, I'm just gonna be like, oh no, like I won't know what to do. I'll be like, I got to do something with it. But otherwise, I'll just play it for fun. I like Xenoblade, and you know what, I'm looking forward to it.
I guess at that point, just do a let's play with it. Like really,
yeah. I mean, that's what I do sometimes now, anyway. But most times anyway. But I would like
those 100-hour RPGs need to be reviewed like a month in advance to be anything.
Yeah,
they sent out Persona 5. 6 weeks early. You had a month and a half early if you got Persona 5 early. So it was really interesting because like they basically give it to you and they're basically like, okay, we don't want you to show you past this chapter, but we're expecting that you're probably only going to get a chance to play like 20 hours a week and you're going to need 5 weeks to beat it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Interesting. So I'm gonna they usually they used to. I still think that that Nintendo of America thing that's going on with Pokemon where it got leaked and people like put it out there. I think that's still spilling over now to Xenoblade for a lot of ambassadors. Like everyone's talks about it online now, so Twitter, so it's not a big deal anymore. But I think people will get Xenoblade on the day it comes out. most. I still think there is some some preference towards channels that have over 100,000 subscribers. I still stick to that because a couple that I know that are over 100,000 have it now. They've made it apparent on Twitter, so I do think that's a thing still, is that or if you're really in with them, I think you get it earlier. But I'll know if Wood gets it, I guess.
I think they should pay attention to view count more. I would believe, like, you get really good view counts, maybe your subs aren't as big, but they should pay attention to your audience.
I get views, but I don't get a ton of subs per view. Well, I get very small subs per view, unfortunately. But I'm fine with it. I got people show up. So
yeah, well, and that's what's weird is that it's still subscribers is like that magic number in the sky. Is I see channels that have like 1 million subscribers, but only get like 25,000 views per video, and somehow they get every review copy. Whereas like people like you and I, we get like 30 or 50,000 views on tons of our videos, and it's hard. You have to like ask companies like, please let me review your game so that all these people can see it. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably because they don't have time to sit through all your videos and say, oh, he got 100,000 here and 25,000 here. Look at your subs and that's it.
Yeah, they go, and all right, I understand YouTube. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Romulus says Newswave is like a TV show to me. That's actually what I was going for. So thank you.
You're right. It is like a TV show.
That is a goal because I loved G4 TV a lot. So I wanted something like that, and I still want something like that.
That is the ultimate goal, and we get that freaking studio and everything going.
The goal is to have a full network where it's all video games all the time.
You can dress up in suits and behind a desk, you and Evan together.
Not so much suits, but that is why there's a media at the end of the title, because that's kind of what we are hoping for.
I just want I guess like a live stream all the time. I don't know, like a TV show thing where you can go on like a network and you just watch video games.
That'd be cool.
Does 4-player podcast still exist? Have y'all ever heard of that?
Yeah.
It's these guys, and they all live in a house, and they air 24 hours a day. You can literally tune in, and literally at all times there's somebody playing games live. You can tune in, it'll be like 4 a.m. and it's a guy playing LA Noire, eating a burger, just looking super exhausted. It's really funny, but it's also very much supposed to be like, all right, this is a television show. We're all doing these 6 and 8 hour shifts. Like, tune in, and there's somebody will always be there, and they make a lot of money doing it.
Cybertronic says,
super chat, yeah.
Cybertronic says Evan deserves a beer or two. I don't think you drink, Evan, do you?
No, well, not beer, especially.
Yeah. I don't drink it all either, so that's fine.
Guy.
Yeah, if you're streaming all day, you probably get a lot of money and just on super chat donations along with the views.
Yeah,
or decent.
We would look to like I said, I miss G4 TV. That was like one of my favorite TV channel. Like the channel, I'd watch that all the time. I'd go from school, I'd watch that. I'd stay up at night, I'd watch Cinematech. And there was a show where it was a guy who would live in EverQuest, and you would follow that. I'm trying to remember what that was called. They had Attack of the Show was on there.
Yeah.
What was the name of the show that they reviewed games with Adam Sessler and Morgan?
That was X-Play. I watched that a lot. Yep, I watched that a lot.
But before even Attack of the Show, I watched it back when it was called Screensavers, the original version.
Yeah. Oh wow. Geez. Yeah. So G4, man, when that came around, that was so cool to see that. Like, it was like, wow, there's a channel where I can just watch video games all the time.
Right.
And that was back during the days of the PS2, the GameCube, and the Xbox.
Yeah. We give Newswave a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. So that's kind of the goal, man. I want like a full, like, a bunch of YouTubers together, and we just make a full network, gaming network.
Mm-hmm. I'll be one of your reviewers. I'll be backup guy number 4.
I am fine with that. I'm fine with people being reviewers and all that good stuff. That'd be awesome. So that would be the goal, is to have, like, seriously a channel you can basically tune into. I guess it'd have to be online because nobody watches cable TV anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Cable TV. Oh yeah, wow.
That's still a thing?
Yeah, I guess it'd be a website you go to, or it'd be on YouTube. I guess, could you just leave the live stream thing up for YouTube all the time?
Yes. I found out because I follow a lot of dubstep channels. I'm obsessed with dubstep. Yes, I have no taste. And they will literally live stream 24 hours a day. I can literally click in and it's like, this stream's been going on for 62 days. It's like, Jesus.
Icons. Yes. If you ever get a chance, I know a lot of them are up on YouTube, and there are some good ones. Go watch Icons.
The Icons about Dreamcast is super thorough. I love it.
Go watch Icons on the NES because it picks up right after the Atari crashed the entire gaming industry, and it's like, it makes it out to be like this big underdog story with the Nintendo, the NES, and how it like rose up to like bring video games back. It was so cool. That was my favorite episode. I
remember that one.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was like, in a world where games were terrible, and it was like, then it's like, does that fade from like dark to like the NES?
Yeah,
and it's like a new contender stepped in, and it was like NES. Oh, so cool. That was my favorite one. I think I watched that because they kept doing reruns of it, and I was like, oh, the NES one's on. So I'd run up to the TV and watch it. That was like when I was pretty young, but those were good times. Mm-hmm. So that's the goal overall. The long-standing goal of the channel is to get to that point. So. We'll see. That's a long time from now. That's when we have a studio and like everybody lives around each other.
Mm-hmm. All right, you come to Texas. I'm never leaving Texas. You're gonna have to kill me in Texas.
You don't want to go anywhere but Texas?
No, we got really hot women. I'll stay here. Low rent.
Low rent. Oh, is rent good there too?
Yeah, yeah. I live in a giant mini bedroom house, and I don't pay much.
Wow. Okay then. Yeah. Jeez. I need to. They have studios around here, I think. No, because the Screenwave studio is near me, apparently. Yeah, apparently it's like an hour away. I can go record in Screenwave for free.
I'm saying if we get that office and we get that studio there, we can get RGT to come out when he moves out here.
Okay, Jesus. if I ever were
come on,
anywhere and do things, maybe
Evan just outing people. Alive.
Spoilers.
No, that's I've been looking at offices already, but I don't know that I talked to Eric about the Screenwave thing, and that sounds really cool. He was talking about how they're renovating it right now, and they were talking to you and I about that, right, Sean? How they're renovating that right now because they were, was it Mike and basically people from Cinemassacre flying drones around, right?
Yeah, pissing off people.
Can you imagine like the angry video game nerd out there like flying drones around and like?
Well, I always think that when I see the Nostalgia Critic, because he films so many skits in his reviews, and a lot of times you'll see the parking lot of his office, and they'll have like ninjas fighting an actual team of Ninja Turtles and stuff, and they're screaming, and it's clearly like 6 a.m. and it's like, man, can you imagine being in those other offices like filing like dental work, paperwork, and stuff?
Oh, Robert just explained why he gives the sex to us. The reason I give the sex is that John and Evan plus all the guests is super cool and not fully yourselves. It's like friends chatting. That's kind of what this is. Just people.
Yeah, spoilers is because we are all friends. Seriously, when we're not recording this podcast, a lot of times we're still talking to each other all the time. Anyways, it's like This is just our on-air conversation.
There's a lot of. You're right. The 50 sex is a lot. There's a lot of sex to get in one shot.
So much sex.
What does that stand? That's Sweden, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sweden.
Currency is SEX.
I was just curious. I know I was trying to figure out what the K stands for, I guess, in it.
Swedish krona. Oh,
okay. Very good. Very good. So what else do we have this week, guys? Anything else before I guess we could take questions? There wasn't as much. Man, this whole week was about loot boxes. Am I wrong about that? It felt like every time I saw news come up, it was like EA's doing this wrong.
Gambling and loot boxes and EA.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I mean, that was a pretty big. This is a legal precedent. I mean, this is something that's never happened before, and we're about to really see everything change.
Well, did you see? Actually, Max, you and Dave have played the game. I have not played it. But tell me this: is it true that you don't actually get more currency in the game if you do well? It's all time based.
No, that's
right now.
No, that's only in arcade mode. So in arcade mode, you can basically earn like $10,000 a day by doing the missions, which are really fast and easy. But once you get to this like $12,000 limit, you actually have this thing pop up on the reward screen that says, "Sorry, you've earned all the money you can for the day." And honestly, I don't know why people get so butthurt about that.
Well, no, I mean in multiplayer, like if you get like 50 kills, you get the same amount of currency as if you got like 5 kills in the match. Is what people are saying.
Not from what I've seen. It has a base, so you can go down to a certain amount, but you can also go up to a certain amount. And so definitely earning more stuff. If you do better, you are definitely earning better rewards than I'm sure y'all saw. There was a guy who made a robot that would just basically literally make his character hop and run into a wall, and it just would literally hold the controller and do this. And it's like that guy's probably earning $100 a match, whereas me playing my hardest, I would earn like $400 or $500 a match.
Well, they were talking about people using rubber bands. And they would just that way they wouldn't be idle, and they would just earn credits that way without actually being near the place.
Did you see the GIF of the guy that built the robot that just would hit the one button on his keyboard?
Yeah, that is really funny. Like every what was it? Every 10 seconds or something, it would hit a button. That is
taking
great.
a page from The Simpsons. Homer Simpson doing that.
That was the water bird.
Yeah, the water bird.
Yep.
Yeah. That's great. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, we actually the PlayStation experience is coming up. We're supposed to, I guess, hear something about I would assume Kingdom Hearts, maybe. I'm trying to think of what games would really be there. We heard Square kind of talk about it, but then they're not on the list to be there. And I don't really know what else they would show there. Apparently they have new IPs that are going to be there, which is interesting. New games we haven't heard about. And the last one we saw that I streamed was okay. It had like Guacamelee 2 and a few other things, but nothing massive. I mean, the PlayStation experience is, to them, according to them, is going to be another E3. So I that's the thing. I don't know if they're stretching themselves too thin by having all of these like conferences, but I don't really know what would you guys want to see there or expect to see there.
My thing is, I feel like the best part of PSX is the sit-down panels they do, where they actually bring out somebody like Hideo Kojima or the voice actors from Last of Us 2 and just have like a 2-hour conversation. So I'm not so much looking for trailers and announcements so much as more in-depth detail as to how the freaking development is actually going on these giant projects.
Can we get some, you think we get some Death Stranding stuff in there?
Yes, I think at this point it's very likely that we're going to see him walk out and hopefully show us some gameplay and not say weird, confusing riddles like what if a stick was a mattress. Like, just show me a gun.
Death Stranding needs to be shown. I feel like they've shown a lot of Spider-Man. I don't know if they need more of that. They could, but I don't know if they need to. I'm trying to think of what else they need to show us. That Resident Evil 2 remake, but I don't know if that's going to be there or not. That might be next year. But there's going to be a full live stream and everything there. They've already said it. It's already scheduled. It's up. And it's going to be at a good time, too. It's not like at a weird time at night or something. It's at like 11 a.m. or something, 1 p.m. or something. You see. It's at like it's like normal time, like during the day. So.
If I had to make a shot-in-the-dark guess, I think it's going to be a heavy focus is going to be Monster Hunter World. The reception of that has been so positive. I think they're kind of shifting and be like, okay, we could just do literally a 22-minute like gameplay demo of that, and it would be fantastic. People would love every second of it. So I think we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of that.
I'll look up the stream time real quick.
Doesn't the beta go live on that day as well for press?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I think, lots of Monster Hunter.
Let me see. Oh, so we are thinking about the beta goes live that day?
Yes, Monster Hunter World beta goes live if you have PlayStation Plus.
I have PlayStation Plus. I'll be playing that. That'll be fun. We will try that out. Maybe I'll even stream it. Starting time. That's not it. I need to find the time for this. It's in December. I think it's like December. It's the same weekend.
It's the 9th. I know I have a schedule of it. And it's the 9th, and I don't remember what time it starts. I just put 9th, if not suck, talk about.
Nice. I was just curious when the December 9th, you said. When the stream started, I guess. So I'm sure people will ask. Here it is. Okay, this is the you can actually buy tickets. That's cool. Anaheim, California. It's December 9th and 10th. I'm sure the stream is like what kicks it off, I guess, because 8th, 9th, 10th is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's the same weekend as the Game Awards. That's gonna be fun. That'll be fun. Here we go. When it's 10 a.m. to I don't see anything about the stream. I know there's a stream. I think the stream's supposed to be like an hour, but it has to just be nothing but games, I assume. They're going to see a lot of games. I don't know if they'll do much with VR. They've already lowered the price, so they might just kind of like ride out the VR stuff they've done. So we'll see if they have any other special editions too, because they showed us that Monster Hunter special edition last time. But it'll be fun. I always like their presentations because usually it's just games, then they're off. So we'll see. We'll see if they have Death Stranding or Days Gone. I don't know anything else they'll show. New IPs maybe. So I guess I guess we got to take some questions from the audience. Evan, if you got any.
Let's see. Let me check the Discord and Discord questions if anybody's wanting to do that. For Pokemon's next main RPG on the Switch, would you prefer a continuation of Sun and Moon, start to a new generation, or a remake of Red, Blue, and Yellow?
I'd rather them go back to the group that I know, the original 150, 250.
Yeah, I mean, we're all hyper nostalgic here, so it's going to be a freaking throwback.
Robert says he's actually he's at work actually counting tens of thousands of secs right now.
Yeah, I looked it up, Robert. Each sec.
Hopefully he's using gloves.
I wish I lived over there, man. I would have a great day every day.
What a job.
Yeah, no, I mean, just walking around with that currency, man, it would never get old.
I'm just swimming in sex.
That'd be great. The main line. I would rather go back to the original one. I could live through a remake of Red and Blue on much more powerful hardware. I could live through that.
I think it would be more of a comforting, I guess, reboot if they did adjust some major systems in that game and then brought us back to the old stuff, because there'd be something familiar for a lot of us to go back to, so it wouldn't feel as weird.
I've read a lot of the community now really hates the people who just like the original Pokemon a lot. They make fun of them. They call them Gen 1ers, and they spell it WUNNER, like you're a redneck, like Gen 1er. So if they do end up rebooting it, bringing it back to Red and Blue, like we would all love, I think the community itself might be like, rage.
You like that original Pokemon?
I don't know. I feel like everybody here would probably enjoy that.
Have you seen that comic strip where it shows Ash? He's tied to a chair and he looks scared, and you see this like voice come out of the shadow, and it says, "How many Pokemon are there?" And he goes, 150. And Professor Oak walks out of the shadow with this weird like gobbledygook looking Pokemon. He goes, "No, it's 760, and it's always been 760." It's like
with Mega.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. Oh, that's right. I guess we should talk about. Should we talk about net neutrality for a few minutes? Since that's happening.
It's extremely important. If nobody's called yet, definitely call.
Yes, call your representative and tell them you want to keep net neutrality if you want to keep the internet the way it is. I don't really know what the future is without net neutrality.
So, some countries don't have it, and there's screenshots. I think it's I think Brazil and I think parts of Australia do not have net neutrality laws. And I've seen screenshots where literally your phone plan says like basically it's set in a way that seems friendly, but it's basically like, do you want the YouTube plan? And it literally is like a streaming service of like, okay, you're buying the websites you use most. Ew. Can you imagine literally buying the websites you literally buying a subscription for every website you visit?
I don't think I like that.
It's like a cable subscription. It's terrible.
Well, imagine somebody like, because I play a lot of online games. A big part of the way I relax each day is playing online games. So it'd really suck if I had to have a freaking PlayStation subscription on top of my PlayStation subscription. Jesus.
That's the worrying thing there, is if they would really go that far. And I basically they're asking, do you trust Comcast enough to not do that?
Yeah,
and
Jesus, I don't.
my answer to that is no.
Well, they've been caught before about blocking stuff. Actually, several of the major companies, Verizon and Comcast. Comcast got caught reading emails that you would send and then blocking you if you said certain stuff. They'd slow down your downloads and stuff if you were talking about politics they didn't like. It's like, what the hell? Because it was legal. It was legal at the time.
Yeah, that's worrying. So if you want to stop net neutrality or keep net neutrality, stop them from repealing it, you can contact your representative. Although I will say they seem like completely set on getting rid of it. So it's going to be an uphill battle. And it's been like that for a while. And you know it's happening whenever you see a ton of videos pop up on YouTube or Twitter, and it's all about net neutrality. It's because this happens a lot. So, and it's interesting. I do see some people who are actually for the repeal. What's his name is actually for the Michael Pachter is actually for the repeal.
That's cool. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I was actually watching one of the Pachter Factor episodes, and he was like, "I'm for it. I want it repealed."
But why? What's his reasoning?
It was interesting. So I was watching, and I was like, I don't know if he actually knows what's happening here. His response was that if you don't use Netflix that much, but then your neighbor is using Netflix a ton and they're eating up all the bandwidth, they should have to pay more for it.
That's still so. It's so dumb. Of like, I just think
it's a very short-sighted reasoning. Yeah, it's a very short-sighted reasoning.
It's a convenience. You're paying for it, and you can use it when you want to. You're paying the monthly service, so I don't get it.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing of like everybody's water bill is cheap because we're all paying a water bill. So because of it, the water facilities stay in business. It shouldn't be like, I'm sorry, you have to pay the showering tax. You take a shower every day, and well, you're gonna have to pay the not smelly tax. Sorry.
And then the other one I hear is that magically Comcast and everyone will start upping their service more if they had the ability to make more money. And today I say they make a ton of money as it is, and they refuse to give me better upload speed than 8up. So
like if 70 billion a year isn't enough for you, then 90 billion a year isn't going to magically make you get more, you know?
Well, they I know around my area, and it's probably the same other places, they specifically stay in their lane, as you'd say, because where I am, the only company I can get high-speed internet from is Comcast. That's it, just Comcast. But if I go 2 miles or 3 miles into Delaware, because I'm right on the border, I'm in Maryland, you can then get Verizon, but you can't get Comcast. So they basically have set it up, probably back office agreements and everything. Don't come into this lane or anything. So
yeah, well, right now in my area, I think they're about to introduce Google Fiber, so that'll be really fast. But it's still kind of the scary thing of like, I feel like we're giving companies like Google more and more power of like, all right, now Google is my internet. Google also pays my bills because of YouTube videos, and it's also what I watch for fun. At this point, I'm just like, hello, Daddy Google, please entertain me.
People in the chat are really excited because they got to 800.
Yes.
So we did hit 800 likes.
If there's another sign, I'm about to lose it.
Oh, here comes another sign.
There is behind this paper a door. Is a door.
Oh God, I was like, Baka.
I'll figure out something for next week. That'll be fun. I'll come up with something really fun for that.
King Kai behind that door.
Yeah. I'll come up with something fun for that. I like doing that. That's actually pretty fun. But hey, you got the 810 likes, so that's good. Hooray.
I'm 15 subscribers from 81,000. So go subscribe to Dreamcast, guy.
Dude, that silver play button's getting close, man. I know
it feels so crazy to think that it's only basically 19,000 away. It feels like so close.
That's exciting, dude. Like that's a big deal. Who called? We just watched Wood get the 100,000 the other night.
Yep.
That's a big deal. So it's happening. Sean, you gained a lot of subs in the past year, didn't you?
Yeah, some long, probably 50,000.
Dude, so there you go. Like this year coming up, you get that silver play button too.
Yeah, I think I will. Should, hopefully.
Unless we all blow it. We may all just have some huge scandal. It's going to turn out that I'm actually a Nintendo hater all along.
Dude, scandals apparently get you more subs from what I see online.
It depends what kind of
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I think if it turned out I was paying somebody to write all my reviews for me, I'm pretty sure I'd be finished. Like, Dreamcast guy's a phony.
What's the Switch game you're most excited for? This is from Semper Fi 77.
Metroid Prime 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's the only one that comes to mind for me because the Switch is a system I like to play, but I don't really look forward to playing it, if that makes sense. It's like whatever comes out, I just play. I don't get hyped. I don't watch Nintendo trailers. It's just like, cool. All right, new Nintendo thing's out, play it.
All right. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I would say Metroid Prime 4 for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll go a little different. I'll say Kirby. I'll play some Kirby.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because that's the closest, to be honest. I don't know when Prime's coming out. But Kirby and Yoshi, I think, are pretty close. I feel like those are going to be Q1 releases. So we'll probably see them maybe even you might see them in January, maybe February, but you'll see them early.
Yes. Is there a subtitle for that game yet? There isn't, right?
For Kirby maybe?
Kirby and the Sunshine Curse?
The Ultimate Sun.
Kirby Ghost Postal. No, it's Kirby Star Allies.
Yeah.
Yep. It just says 2018. HAL Laboratory is developing that. Very nice.
Good old HAL.
Evan, who else do we have over there in Discord, man?
We got Square wants to be more proactive with the Switch. They stated that they want to reboot old and create new IPs for the system. What games would you like to see remade?
This is you said Square, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because there was you guys saw that, right? There was a shareholders meeting, and they answered a lot of questions. And of course, the question came up: what are you doing for the Switch? A lot of investors seem really interested in what are these Japanese companies doing for the Switch? Probably because it's selling as well as it is. So they're like, what are we doing? How are we getting on that that hype train?
Yeah.
And Square seemed to answer that nothing's really off the table technically for us to attempt to get on there, but they seem to want to look at the mid-range games. And then it seemed like they talked about reviving IPs and even doing some stuff that would only go on the Switch, bring back some old ones, because we heard that rumor of World Ends With You 2 going to it. But that got everybody wondering, what are they going to put on there then? What's going to show up from Square's back catalog that would be really cool on that system? Because, I mean, Square has a lot of RPGs, obviously, that aren't even used right now.
Bushido Blade.
Parasite Eve.
Oh, man. It was Third Birthday was the last one in that series kind of that did, right?
Yep. And it is a weird ending because it's basically amnesia. Whoa.
So you could do something like that, Parasite. And I heard someone say Chrono Trigger even. Something in there. That would be interesting.
We've got the random titles like Bahamut Lagoon, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's that really weird, I think it was on Super Nintendo. It was almost like a Pokemon game, but it was about robots that you had to like build, and then you could program their attacks and stuff.
Front Mission?
No. It was more cartoony.
Oh,
I never remember the title.
It never came to the US either. I think I know you're talking about. I can't remember the title of that.
Sounds like something to be called like Gundancing Z.
Robo Trek, I think, was the
Robo. Yeah, that's right. I remember that one. Yeah, Robo Trek.
I think.
Is that? Let me see.
Yeah, no, it was.
You can look into that. Okay, yeah. But what do you have any thoughts on that, Sean? Any game from them you'd want? Because it can still be new ones. Like we could see like Final Fantasy VII Remake even come over technically.
I don't like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god!
I don't. We've had this discussion before. Remember?
I know, and I still vomit every night.
Shocking every time.
I would like to see. I think they should do like more like spin-off games. Like Kingdom Hearts. Like, why is there not a Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah,
that's the stuff.
I thought that game was so much fun. I think I was the only one who loved it, but
I love Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube. That was a great game.
Crystal Chronicles actually sold pretty dang well, and it made them. So I've heard some sort of talk that like that's one of those fan requested games people have requested because they did like a bunch of follow-ups. There's basically a bunch of Crystal Chronicle games after the first one, and I own a lot of them. Some of them suck, but they're
on the DS, right?
DS, and then they did a couple on the Switch. They did one on the Wii, Ring of Fates, and everything.
You think they'd move like a Final Fantasy Tactics to the Switch?
I'd like to, but so I don't know. I feel like they're afraid of that combat system now. I think it's just so untested at this point. I feel like whatever they do, it's probably going to be very action focused. So
are you guys surprised that they haven't taken any of the Final Fantasies like 7, 8, 9, any of the old ones from like the PS1 since they made it their way to the PC, and that they haven't moved anything to the Switch? Do you think there's an exclusivity deal with Sony then?
No. I think what it comes down to, so there was an interview a couple months ago with Tabata, and during the interview, straight up, the interviewer said, like, why don't y'all bring back more of the old games? Just literally, like, reprogram to work on modern consoles. And Tabata said, people want that? And he's like, yes, one of the most requested things is to get like Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the PlayStation 4, Switch, and Xbox One. And he was like, we had no idea. I'll take that to my team and discuss it. Because it just doesn't get to them. Like,
I see him showing up there, and he's like, how long would it take to get Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch? They're like, we're going to have it done next week. He's like, we'll check back next year about that.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 in like a collection, that would do great. Just fix the pixelation and stuff like that, and you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because they already did the remasters they did of 7 and 9 so far on PS4. Crazy amazing. They look so great.
They have it on the PC also. I know they've had them on the PC for a while now.
Yeah, and that's what the Steam version is what they put on PS4, which means you get all the cheat codes and stuff like skip battles and instant damage and stuff.
Yeah, they added cloud save to the to Steam for the Final Fantasy 7 as well, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's very weird. How do you not know people want that game? It's the weirdest thing.
You have to imagine if you work 80 hours a week and you live in a tiny little like Japanese bubble, basically, where all you talk to are like the people below you that you hang out with and the people above you who are always like cracking down on your ass. You're not going to have a lot of time to look at English Twitter and search, does Final Fantasy 8 still suck?
Yeah, these guys are always working on the next project, so they don't have really much time to listen.
I feel like you hire somebody. I don't know. I do something. I'd be like, let's go. Why don't you take a look at what people want in the world while we work on this? I don't know. It's interesting that they wouldn't have that, but there's so much stuff they could bring, and I feel like at this point, Square and these other Japanese companies are like, maybe we should actually make some stuff for the Switch. So a lot of stuff's going to start popping up. I feel like. I want to say next year is going to be good for some of these games, but if they're starting now, there's no way it wouldn't be until 2019, right? It seems weird. Even Capcom is still tentative about the whole thing.
It depends on the scale. Like, there's a lot of indie stuff. Like, I mean, there's reports that came out that Mass Effect Andromeda, as big and bad as that is, was made in 18 months. So
well, I mean that shows.
Well, yeah, but I'm still saying, like, a big project, if you manage to scale something like that down to not be quite a dumpster fire, then you could probably hammer it out in 12 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And the facial animations were made after the game was released.
Yeah. It'd be like the Shenmue trailer where it looks like a bunch of puppets being like, I have feelings.
Wow.
Oh, man. That's great. What else do we have, Evan?
Let's see. I mean, we've covered most of this. Analysts saying that the Switch would take over the market next year if they release Pokemon. I mean, we've kind of already talked
Pokemon will do it. Yeah, people will buy the Switch who were 3DS owners because then there's no more Pokemon on the 3DS, and that's a big audience to come over. That's what 68 million people, 69 million or something like that own a 3DS right now. That
usually Nintendo's track record, they usually have a Pokemon release for their handhelds or whatever 2 years into the system's lifespan. So that's why I still think it's going to be 2019, just in my opinion.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that would, I mean, what the Pokemon sells 15, 16 million on the 3DS every time, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at, I'd say probably that many would probably make the jump all of a sudden just to the Switch, or at least half of that many would make the jump right away. So it's pretty clear. And then we saw Pokemon sell 1.2 million in its first 3 days on the market in Japan alone.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, in Japan alone, not even counting anywhere else. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, right, right.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the flop of Battlefront 2, right? In Japan.
Oh man, well, let me ask you this real quick before we talk about that. Let me ask you this before we talk about that real quick. Do you think when Pokemon goes to Switch, it'll be 2 versions or 1? Like, do you think they'll have like a blue and a red, or do you think they're just gonna have a green?
Yeah, I mean, it's a business model that makes them so much. I mean, if somebody said like, I can give you 1 sandwich or 2 sandwiches, you're always, even if you're not hungry, you're like, I'll take 2 sandwiches.
Well, here's the interesting thing. In Japan, the Pokemon, they just counted them together for the top spot. They took the top spot, and then the second spot was the double pack that they sold where you could buy them both together. That was number 2 in Japan.
Wow. Yeah, they may do 3 versions of the game because they did that with the last Fire Emblem game, right? They had 3 different versions.
Yeah.
They may just go crazy with it.
I mean, people will buy it.
At least 2.
People will buy it. But yeah, so Battlefront 2 came out in Japan, did terribly. I don't even think it cracked 40,000, right? It was like 38,000. And that's a problem because the original one sold 129,000 in its first week.
Killing it.
Yeah, 90,000 unit drop off or so. That's kind of an issue. And then it failed to top the charts in the UK. And I think it's pretty clear that it's just not selling. And I don't think they're going to get to 14 million when they think they will. They're going to come under expectations. And I really hope Disney looks at them sideways and goes, maybe we should rethink this.
Sideways after they kick them.
Yeah, dude, that would be the day, man. Can you imagine the headlines if that happened? If Disney showed up and was like, we're gonna can this relationship with EA. Can you imagine the amount of headlines, the amount of people going nuts that day if that happened?
I would read half that headline. I'd be setting up my camera for a rant video, being like, "What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here," and the finally happened. You know, like this, with how much EA shuts down other studios, it'd be nice if somebody else walked in and went, "Hey, buddy, you're screwed."
Yes,
developers hate EA. Yeah, they hate EA. Everybody usually hates EA. So I think we've all been waiting for this to happen, for a while.
Yeah, and it's funny because EA did it to themselves. Like they could have just skated along, put out an okay Battlefront. It probably would have done better than the first one if there were no microtransactions. They probably would have sold 15, 16 million copies of this game just because, and then they would have moved on to their next one. But of course, they had to try to get just that little extra or even squeeze out that much more. And it completely backfired. It's very interesting. It really is that show of greed just ruining you. It's very interesting.
Well, it's fascinating because it's such a perfect storm where clearly they sat down and went, okay, Star Wars is such a solidified brand. We're managing to put this out before the big movie. We have all this synchronized marketing. It's going to be so great. So I want you to just slip in these cancerous microtransactions and we'll see how it works. And funny enough, people caught wind of it early, and it just ended up going off like a hand grenade.
But they would have made so much money if they just did not try to put it in progression. Like if it was cosmetic, they would have made so much money. The loot boxes, because I bet you the team at Overwatch hates EA right now. Oh my gosh, they are so mad at EA right now. It's got to be out of control.
Those guys talk so polite too. I like to picture them walking like, you're dangerous to everybody around you, and I just want you to know that if you got smacked by a hobo, you deserve it.
Isn't that funny though? The gamers don't like EA for the loot boxes being in there, but then the people who capitalize on loot box with cosmetics that love loot boxes don't look like EA either.
Yeah,
it's insane right now. It's the weirdest time. So EA they're going to win their standard worst company of the year or whatever, and
the golden poop.
Business as usual there.
I think this is the perfect chance for Activision to step in and try to pretend to be the white knight and say, "Hey, we're not going to have microtransactions now, guys."
Yeah,
except they just did it with Call of Duty, and that's horrible too.
Exactly.
You have to. There's an achievement basically. There's a daily mission where you watch other people open loot crates.
You watch them open loot crates, and you get rewards.
Like, oh yeah, do you like watching?
It is amazing.
You like to watch, don't you?
It's so stupid.
Oh man. So what else? What else do you guys got in the chat? Do we have anything else, Evan?
I mean, I feel like a lot of the stuff people are asking over in Discord were kind of already covered. Like, do we want Pokemon to be open world like Zelda? I think we did just touch on.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Sure,
that function.
They have the ability now with the Switch.
A seamless world.
3DS. Yeah. It's not the 3DS or even the DS or Game Boy where they had to kind of section things off. They have the power to do it now.
Couple different points of asking what they're going to do next year because all the big titles were released this year and they haven't really talked a lot about exactly what's coming out next year, but we did touch on that as well. So from actual YouTube chat, we had Nathan Marshall asking specifically Dave if he has any predictions for the PS experience.
No. No, I don't.
Dave, do you want to read that from Robert because it has your name in it? I'm not really sure what he's trying to say. He gave us a lot of sex though, so
I don't have the chat open. You want to read it?
It actually comes out. It comes out to $10, by the way. I've calculated. He just gave us $10. He says, I prepared a joke for today. In 2018, SpawnCast will grow so big they announced the PS4, the PlayStation 5 will be announced here. But I didn't realize Super Metal Dave would be joined, so actually that might come true. Winky face. Oops.
What did they ask? Oh, did they ask if Dave had a prediction for PSX at all? Is that what?
Yeah, I said no. I'm not making any predictions.
All right.
Besides Monster Hunter being there, which is a given.
Yes, Monster Hunter will be there because the beta's out.
Yeah, and then we've got Antique Moose who's been asking us for a bit. What are our opinions on Smash Bros? Since apparently it was recently trademarked again.
Yeah, it was recently trademarked. It turns out that may have been more for merchandise, but I think most people expect Smash Bros next year in some way, whether it's a port or a new one. I think it's been enough time for them to have a new one come out.
Usually they announce it though that they're working on it at least a couple years in advance. So I think.
But even so, maybe an announcement. You think an announcement would be enough just to get people on board because they're like, "Well, Smash Bros is coming."
I could see it coming out. 100%. I could see it coming out. I could see it. Maybe even a different director or something, because I've heard that director has been getting really burned out the last couple entries. So I think it could be like a premiere, like new Smash, new team that's been secretly working on it all along. So they've had all the years to make it.
Well, they called Bandai in last time, didn't they? And they helped them get it to the finish line in time. So
yeah,
Bandai seems willing to work with this kind of stuff. You know, maybe they had enough experience in the first one to do this one faster. I don't know. This is James asks, Ukulele, a possible release. I think they missed the boat big time on that game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's too late. Like it's going to come out.
I doubt they're going to cancel it. They're definitely going to put it out.
I feel like they
have to. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just it's too late. Like Mario Odyssey's out. They needed to get that out before.
Yeah,
well,
it's too late.
They're not going to cancel Ukulele though, because it was
crowdfunded. They have to. They got paid already.
But even if it's 15 frames per second, they better just release it.
It's going to be a point-and-click adventure. You click where you want to go, and it goes wah, 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 wah.
Like it's too late. If they could have got that out before Mario Odyssey, they would have had a chance. But
well, they had that trailer for it like back in April for the Switch, right? And it had some frame rate stuff going on.
Yeah.
But the trailer.
But dude, I mean, look at this. Man. I mean, Super Lucky's Tale was affected by Mario Odyssey, and that's on a whole other system.
Yeah. Hey, what happened? Whatever happened to the big AAA release of Bubsy?
Oh gosh, I sent them a code, or I sent them a request for it, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna make fun of this on camera. So if you could send me a code, that'd be cool. But
that might get them more sales.
Well, you know what's funny is I tried to get a review code of that, and I emailed, and every email on their website was broken. It was like press it Bubsy, and it said this is an invalid domain. So I was like, Bubsy, like there were all these emails of like, if you want a code, talk to these people, and every single one they'd never even set it up. It's like clearly there's not even a company. This game is made by Ghost.
Man, they closed after they released the game.
Right, Ron.
That's a good point.
What could possibly go wrong?
That's another good point. Ukulele is $15 on the PS4 and the Xbox One right now, is what some guy says. So they're going to come out with this game on the Switch, and it's going to be $40, $50, and a lot of people are going to be like, "Well, why wouldn't I spend the extra 10 or 20 and just get Mario Odyssey?"
Yeah,
and it's like
that's one of those rare games that I feel like it's just not even worth playing. A lot of times I'll be like, okay, even a bad game is worth trying. That game just sucks in a slightly frustrating way to me.
I hate to say it, dude. I played I think Super Lucky's Tale is better, and it's $10 cheaper.
But better than Yooka-Laylee?
Yeah, I think it is. I played it, and I'm like, this isn't bad. It's very generic. That's the only problem. Like, there are some interesting things to it, but it's so generic. Like, it's Conquer before they turned him into a mature rated Conquer.
They're supposed to have an amiibo for that game, right? The female amiibos for Yooka-Laylee, right? Didn't they say something about that?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I thought they were supposed to do something, and that's kind of how you get people in. Obviously, is use amiibos and everything, but. I don't know. Like if they were smart, I don't know if they were doing amiibos for WWE, but that's where they should do it. That's where the money.
I want to get like it's a little bicep that you wave over something. Hey, look! It's
I was going to say Pat
needle.
Mario, and he shows up with like a barbed wire bat or something. And
there you go.
Well, I'd love to see him dive into the ring. What? And he just starts beating the hell out of people. Like, oh my, he's on the turnbuckle.
But if they unlock were smart, the fun, yeah.
If they were smart, because the action figure sales for wrestling are really high. If they were smart, they would have got. I think it's Mattel that does that. They would have got a hold of them, and they would have got the licensing figured out, and they would have released actual wrestlers as amiibos for that game, and that would have been. I think that would have sold really well. Just for the
marketing,
people would have bought those amiibos that don't even have the Switch just for collectors purposes.
And I would buy. I don't know anything about wrestling, but if there was like an Undertaker amiibo that looked really serious, I'd put it right next to my Wolf Link and be like, "God is dead. I'm just gonna put this next to each other."
Dragon Ball Fighter Z on the Switch. Yes. Goku amiibo.
I would buy every single one of those amiibo. I don't even buy amiibo.
I would buy all the amiibos before I get my Switch.
You gotta have Dragon Ball Z amiibos.
You would get the Broly though, Evan.
Oh hell yeah!
Big old Broly. Yeah, you get Broly, dude.
This giant amiibo. It's like this is my super amiibo.
It's like 40 pounds. Yeah.
Drag it in. I'm gonna crush my Switch, but it's what Broly demands.
Yeah. No, but it's not bad. They're pretty desperate for sales. I think though. I don't think it's selling very well. Super Lucky's Tale. Which is a shame because it's definitely a middle of the road game. It's just there are so many really good games out right now.
It looks like a clone platformer game to the consumer. So they're like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. They definitely it's not like a bad platforming game. Like I said, it's not memorable. That's the problem. Like it's polished and it looks good, but it's just not. There's nothing there. I don't know.
They need to make him more mean, like a mean squirrel.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they had done the Cockers thing, yeah, they would have done well. They just didn't. And what's funny is
bitter, definitely bitter.
What's funny is they're trying these different things, and I don't think the Xbox community is really responding well to it. So in their mind, they're like, "Well, we tried. Get more shooters on this thing." You know, I don't know. I'd like to see them be more diverse with stuff like that, but it's tough, man. Right now, it really is. Like even Cuphead was held up by the Steam community and not the Xbox community.
The Xbox One X,
shame.
The Xbox One X is helping with weird stuff. Like I've heard, apparently the Assassin's Creed Origins numbers were really high for Xbox One this year, and they think a lot of that's because they focused so hard on the Xbox One X in their marketing.
Well, they had the marketing, yeah, they had marketing for that one, from what I remember.
Marketing deal, yeah.
Yeah, Robert Erickson dropped some more sex on us and asked, "What about the Super Mario movie?" I forgot about that. There is a Super Mario movie they're working on.
This is going to be a CG movie, right?
Yes, it's going to be for the people who did Despicable Me.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be good.
John Leguizamo.
Visually, I'm sure it'll look fine. It's gonna. I don't really know what kind of plot you come up with though. That's the thing I'm kind of stuck on right now. Is what do they do?
I mean, I would like if he goes on like an adventure and everybody can talk but him, and so he goes on a fun adventure, and so people walk up like, "Oh my God, Mario, I'm so glad you're here. Now the reason the princess has been captured is in that tower," and he's like, and it's like that's what so they can stick on character of like, yeah, everyone talks to Mario.
Do they just get like Danny DeVito to like voice him if he needs a voice?
Yeah,
his dad will probably talk, not Mario.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't really know because it has to be at least an hour and a half movie, right? Like the plot has to be at least decent. Well, I assume
to do it.
I think it's gonna be G-rated though. I don't think they're gonna go PG or anything. I think it's gonna be G-rated.
PG-13, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot you can do with a G rating. You can do like almost half cuss words and stuff. Like what is it? Bedtime stories. Instead of saying shit all the time, he goes shit, and then like would slide off screen. And so I think that they'll probably, if they want to bend.
The only reason they'd probably wane into like PG territory is if he's like jumping and like injuring people and stuff, and like
splattering a Goomba that's begging, "Please, Mario, I have a family." Oh no, my family.
So it's gonna that'll be interesting, but maybe they'll even get, like someone was saying, get Charles Martinet to do it.
Too many killed tortoises. Yeah, PG.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna be curious. It's still a rumor, but I have to see what kind of. I mean, they managed to make the Emoji movie somehow. So creative minds, right? I don't know. We'll see what they can do there. Yeah, that's a good point. The Lego Movie and Lego Batman those were fun movies to watch. So
yeah.
I think it's because the humor was good. Like if the humor is good in Mario, it could be fun. I guess that's it for tonight then, guys. A little over 2 hours, a little over tonight, but overall it was a lot of fun. I think you guys had a good time tonight. What do you guys got coming up this week? I know Dreamcast guy, you got your room tour coming up.
I have a room tour and I have a special video coming out. So Monday I have a room tour coming out, and Tuesday I have a big video kind of about how I think that we're about to see the end of this $60 game. So stay tuned for that.
Interesting. Up or down?
Both, and I approach it from all directions. Okay. I kind of break down like, is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? And most importantly, will games improve or get worse now that they're able to actually have more expensive or cheaper games? So,
okay. I also got a person you guys can go raid when we're done here, but we got to get to the end first. So I got you. Okay, Dave, you got anything coming up, man?
Yeah, I got a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 video coming up on Monday. Looking forward to. Just wait and see.
Yeah, just wait and see, huh? All right, cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm all about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now as we build up to that. That's going to be really cool. Then of course, Sean, what do you got, man? What's happening?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I got
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I got a Skyrim video that I wanted to put out tomorrow, but I haven't even started on it, but I might still get it done. What's in the box? I got to open some stuff tonight. It'll do review. Resident Evil Revelations dual pack review. maybe Axiom Verge if I just don't sleep any. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Okay. Yeah, a lot of you guys already were telling me who to go raid, so it's fine. Cool. So that's good to hear. And then Evan, you have your video going up tomorrow, right?
Video going up tomorrow, probably a mini addendum to it at some point in time in the week, depending on how important I guess the news story was, or how I can link it to the other thing that happened. And then of course I'll just link that you can follow that name on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and chat. And I just do stuff there.
Esports Wave, right?
Tomorrow. Yep, Esports Wave. I changed all the spellings of it since apparently it's been determined that it's just supposed to be spelled normal now for some reason, just no capitals at any point in there unless it's at the beginning of a sentence. So I fixed all that.
Very nice. That's good to hear. And yeah, I noticed you got a Pokemon and Street Fighter coming up for that, right?
Smash Brothers.
Smash
Street
Brothers.
Fighter.
Sorry, Smash.
Yeah, I'm looking back at some of the things I overlooked in the first two videos because people wanted to, I guess, know about them. And then we got the upcoming Capcom Cup, which actually sounds pretty interesting, and the finals for the Tekken Cup, going over that a little bit.
Oh, very nice. That sounds fun. Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. Very good. Okay, guys. I think we're good there. If you want to go raid someone, feel free to go raid CND. He's right there. I think you guys can overtake the chat. He actually has 570s. I think you guys can do it. I believe in you guys. I do. I believe in you. So with that, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Evan, what episode was this? Was this 33?
34.
34. Dude, we're getting close to that 50 mark, man.
Yep. Audio will be up sometime in the afternoon tomorrow.
Episode 30. All right, cool. So audio's on SoundCloud, iTunes. I don't know if it goes up on Google Play yet. And then the Patreon supporters get it pretty much right away, right?
Yeah, through the video.
Yes. So if you're on the Patreon, it'll be up in probably the next couple minutes. And you can go over there and watch it if you'd like. Otherwise, guys, I'll talk about my orange Joy-Cons tomorrow. I actually recorded it. You probably saw it on Twitter. I recorded it and sped it up real quick. But I have a whole thing on that going up tomorrow, so you can check it out as well. And then Evan's Esports. But otherwise, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll see you guys then.